Hold on. I just love that. I wish I knew. If you're starting it off with that, I wish I knew. You cannot then go, I wish I knew, and then explain what it is.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It doesn't work. It's like exactly what we said at the beginning earlier, like with religion. As soon as you say, I'm a free thinker, I'm allowed to like think a certain way, and then you follow some ridiculous... Okay, let's just play it.
Yeah.
From a flat earth perspective, we live within an enclosed system. Whether or not that means there's a physical container, there's an electromagnetism.
No, what? If it's some kind of container? What, like we're in a fucking Tupperware? North is the middle of this giant disc. Where the fuck is south?
There is no south, apparently. There is none. South is the whole edge, is what he's saying.
Yeah, but that doesn't work either, though, does it? Because then you're still walking south no matter which direction you go. What is this guy talking about?
I think you're forgetting about the electromagnetism, Nathan.
Oh, I'm forgetting about the electromagnetism.
You're forgetting about the electromagnetism.
My sincerest apologies. How could I forget about the electromagnetism?
Hello, Internet. Now please, hold on to your butt, as two comedians attempt to talk about serious subjects in a not-so-serious manner. From the mysterious to the utterly vicious, everything is fair game. This is the Kill Them With Comedy podcast, featuring true crime, amazing events, conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and an array of weird and wonderful topics, all for your enjoyment. You're welcome.
And that proves that even people that you would trust with your life can, at some point, go fucking crazy.
What is here?
Hello there.
Howdy, partner.
How's it going?
How's your day been? How's your week been? I'm assuming you've been off today.
Yeah, I've been off today. I was meant to have work tomorrow, but yeah. The Department of Work and Pensions want to give me a phone call to check if I need any help finding any work, which is interesting as they already know I'm working. Yeah, I'm self-employed on the universal credit thing, but they're like, you know what? Do you need help getting into work? No, I fucking don't. I just need the pandemic to fuck off, and then maybe I could earn some actual cash.
That's terrible. So that basically means that they're forgetting the huge portion of people on universal credit that are working on universal credit, because that is part of what universal credit is.
Yeah, and they just don't give a shit. They're like, no, just pay, just talk to someone for 15 minutes for no fucking reason at all.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that the government don't fully know exactly what they're doing? I do not accept that, Nathan.
I know, it's almost as if bureaucracy is a idea, isn't it?
Bureaucracy?
Yeah.
I always get confused with what that word actually means.
Yeah, bureaucracy is not smart. It's basically just it's the thing where you take every single little box to tick and make sure you have to tick it, if you know what I mean. It's the same fucking thing that everyone keeps saying, we need to get rid of the red tape, except they end up getting rid of the red tape that actually protects people.
Yes, of course. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that actually protects people they get rid of, whilst the red tape you don't actually fucking need. Like, are you still working? Yes, I am. Oh, well, no, we keep that going. Fucking bastard.
So that means we can't go to work as well tomorrow because of that then?
Yeah, basically. I lose out on money because these dickheads need a proof that I am earning money. I had an experience when I was just starting Job Seekers Allowance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The original OG.
Yeah, and I missed an appointment by 5 minutes, so they cancelled all my money for 3 months.
Yeah, they were way worse back then, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, but if you didn't go to work though, you wouldn't expect to get paid. And I was like, yeah, for the day. For the day, dickhead. Not for 3 months.
There's a lot of extenuating your circumstances too. You might have been ill that day, you might have blah blah whatever. One day, yeah. You wouldn't even I've never even been fired from a job for missing one day and not telling anyone anything.
No.
Probably should have been, but in some situations, probably.
So what have you been up to anyway?
I don't know, I'm just gonna set an intro timer so we can't accidentally chat on for an hour again.
Way too long. Yeah.
Well, we'll just do it at the end if it comes to it.
Yeah.
What have I done? Like, I watched a documentary about Mormons.
Fascinating. Okay.
No, it actually really is. It's on Netflix. I'm only like half of the way through it at the moment, but it's like some bombings that I don't really understand what's going on, to be quite honest with you. It's either the Mormons bombed someone or they were faking.
Someone bombed the Mormons or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing at the moment.
Yeah. That's I've heard of that, I think, but I've not actually started watching any of it. But I keep hearing about Mormon stuff.
Well, do you know? I mean, do you know like the basic? Because it's the Latter-day Saints one, isn't it? I think they call themselves now more.
Yeah, I had a person who was in the same dorm at university who was a Mormon guy. So
God, practicing.
It was quite interesting. Yeah, it was interesting talking to him because hang on. Fuck off. Yes. I fucking hate sneezing, by the way. I fucking hate it. Loads of people out there are like, oh no, sneezing's great. Don't you love to sneeze? No, fuck sneezing. Sneezing is shit.
It's nice.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Like, I'll explain why, right? Because everyone thinks, oh, sneezing's lovely. The relief you get from sneezing. Yeah, from that annoying, painful sensation in your nose that builds for like 5 seconds. So you get one release of like, achoo, okay. That single, like, millisecond of pleasure was worth the 5 seconds lead up of, No, fuck that shit.
You could say the same thing on a larger scale with foreplay too.
For orgasm.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm at least enjoying the foreplay. I'm not enjoying they're going.
Yeah, okay, you know what? In all fairness, I kind of get what you're saying. It's like in the same way you could say the same thing for having the poo, but it's not nice, only in the sense that it's a bit awkward getting the poo and then it comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
only
like nice because
needing desperately to take a shit fucking sucks. But when you actually take that shit, yeah, that's going to feel great because you were in agony beforehand. It's like saying, you know what? I'm going to stab you in the leg and then I'm going to remove it. That's going to be a nice treat for you, son.
When my mind went then instantly, it's basically like childbirth. All those people say childbirth is lovely. It's not. It's just you at the end, so it's good.
Yeah, and you also get something for childbirth. You get a kid. With a sneeze, you just spray everything around you with a thin mist of gross.
Sometimes I wish my children would spray away sometimes, but I think that's a feeling that most parents have.
I think that's fairly common, yeah. What was I saying before that?
Yeah, what were you saying, actually? A Mormon you knew? Mormon.
Yeah.
Mormon.
So Mormonism, yeah, and this guy was a practicing Mormon, and he told me like, oh yeah, I had to go to do a mission in so and so, and then I came back, and like literally me and this fucking Mormon mopping up the kitchen at university because everyone else had a party the night before, and we were the only ones left sad enough to do it.
I'm normally one of them still, just like half and half, like you're dying, but you don't really want to go to sleep. And there's a Mormon in front of you. That's a good conversation to be had right there.
Yeah, you need to learn this shit, yeah.
Oh, definitely. I would take full advantage of that situation as well, my friend.
Yeah, bro, yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I learned some shit.
Sorry, one sec. Yeah? You can ask me a big favour. I don't know if I'll say yes. Probably will. I can. One sec. I need to pause the telly for her.
God.
She's a slow lady.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's do a little bit of music for the people at home.
Yeah. I definitely won't just cut that out. I probably won't now, to be honest with you. What was this? Yeah, but do you know like the history of the Latter-day Saints and all that? Like just the basic history of the Mormons?
Oh yeah. It was a guy called Joseph Smith, which is by the way almost the most basic bitch name you can have.
Yeah. I accidentally referred to him as John Smith to one of my friends. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he basically went, "Hey guys, I'm not getting laid enough, but I have found these magical seer stones that I can put in a hat, and I look in them with this thing that God gave me, and I can see the pages and I can tell you the story." And then he loses all the pages, supposedly, and
No one else ever
his
saw the blocks either. No one was ever allowed to see them.
No one was allowed to see him, and his mate who was writing this all down for him, his wife goes, look, let me take this fucking shit. I'll put it over here, see if he can do the same shit again. And the guy goes, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I lost it all, Joseph. What can we do to solve it? Can you read it all again?" He goes, "I was reading from the book of, what was it, E5 or something, and this one's the book of Nephi, which is the same story, but ever so slightly different."
Oh, okay, that makes so much more sense. I didn't know that last part of it. I knew.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all
Okay.
what I learned in the South Park episode on Mormonism,
Yeah.
which is
And they've got
fucking
that
brilliant.
book of
Dum
I
dum
wanna-
dum dum dum.
They've done a whole play. The guys that made that, haven't they? The
Yeah, the
Book
Book
of
of
Mormon. I so want to see
Mormon.
that.
Yeah,
But,
Hasadiga Ibawai is my fucking jam, dude.
What?
Hasadiga Ibawai, dude. It's one of the songs from Book of Mormon.
I haven't seen it. I
Oh,
really
mate.
want to.
Hasadiga Ibawai. And it's like when he goes like, "What does Hasadiga Ibawai mean?" And he goes, "Does it mean no worries for the rest of your days?" Not quite. Hasadiga. He goes, Ibawai it's Hasadiga means fuck you, and Ibawai means God. So I guess it means fuck you, God. Hasadiga Ibawai.
I need to see that. I need. Apparently,
So good.
I swear it was on that bank balance program that's on at the moment with Gordon Ramsay. That was in one of the questions, and that's one of the 10. It was either the 10 or 20 longest running plays ever in the West End, or one of them. It was like the Book of Mormon. How is that in it? That's one of them.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking remarkable what those guys, Matt and Trey, can do. Like they're incredible.
But that was it. That Mormon murder thing with the bombing is something to do with the salamander thing, because in this one letter, originally, what was put out to the masses of the Mormons was that some angel gave him the blocks, Moroni or something like that. But in this letter, in this letter, he's actually referring that it was actually a white salamander that took him there. Very, very different things. Very different things.
Yeah.
And he was a known con man as well. I forgot about that. He was actually a known con man.
Yeah, a known con man, a known like arsehole and drunkard apparently as well.
Yeah.
Like, the dude, like, what is it with people?
Yeah.
And just wanting to believe like the most bullshit people in the world. It's like
crazy story.
It's bizarre, man. And it's like it's almost as it's like the same thing with L. Ron bloody Hubbard. It's like, oh, this guy's been writing sci-fi for his entire career, and now he's just happened to come across a magical religion about space. Are you fucking?
See, that's the one I haven't got into yet, and I'm even more interested in it after learning more about Mormonism. I'd forgotten a lot of this stuff. So.
Yeah. Scientology gets weird, man. Scientology gets really out there. Like,
can you imagine? From what I've seen.
Yeah, the Leah Remini stuff's interesting, where it's like, oh yeah, no, I couldn't talk to anyone from my family for years, and like,
yeah, I've seen some of that side of it, but I don't really know any of like the history that they believe, any of their beliefs.
I can tell you that shit. That's the same thing. That was from South Park as well. This is easy, right? So hundreds of like trillions of years ago, supposedly, which is actually before the universe existed, but we'll ignore that. The Galactic Empire, controlled by the evil Lord Xenu.
Wait, this is what they believe.
This is what they believe.
Starting point, okay.
He took over the galaxy, and anyone who was like forming an insurrection against him, or was like, saying, "Oh, fuck you, Xenu," he'd kill them, and he'd send them into the volcanoes of Earth, and they would burn alive. And then
the volcanoes that weren't there.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
But The
Amazing.
best part is, the best part is apparently he had soul catching devices, which would stop the
Having his
spirits
soul.
escaping Earth. And that's for the reason why we're all upset and sad. Is because these alien spirits are floating through our bodies. They are the Thetans.
But this is really what they believe.
This is what they believe.
What the?
This is what they fucking believe. They believe that we are being basically affected by alien spirits we can't see
From trillions of years ago.
from trillions of years ago,
And,
and the Arch Lord Xenu,
I'm gonna really
Galactic
regret,
Overlord.
I'll probably regret asking this, and I know the answer is none. But what evidence do they have for this?
None. Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. L. Ron Hubbard thought about it for a bit, and then it was so.
Was it like, I'm from the same. I'm guessing was it like a 50s kind of writer? Or it's not that old, is it? So
Well, it's sort of around that time, a bit after, and I mean, he was really, really weird. Like, there's lots of rumors about him, like with young boys and stuff like that on the Sea Org, and the Sea Org is the place where it's like their floating Vatican, because he wasn't allowed to stay in the United States, or he would have had to serve trials for various things. So instead, he stayed out in international waters on the Sea Org and have people ship shit to him that he liked, because he thought himself an admiral. Did old L. Ron Hubbard? Yeah, and he was like,
I was not
everyone had to
expecting any of
salute
this.
him. Oh yeah, it's fucking weird, dude.
So it's like what we said, I'm sure we've talked about this in the past. We said like with like just general religions that are around now,
Yeah.
like the old ones. Like if someone appeared saying this kind of stuff nowadays, you'd be like, you're crazy, you're not the son of God and all that. Apparently, no.
Yeah.
Some people will believe them.
Absolutely they will, and to the point where, like, I was back at college, I think it was, well, sixth form. I was doing an art project on like cartoon art and stuff like that, and I was researching people, and there was this one guy who was a really interesting artist. He drew a lot of Green Lantern stuff and stuff like that, and I was like,
Okay.
awesome, I'll read through this stuff. This was back when MySpace was around, and
Whoa. Good
I
old
was looking through his
Tom.
page. Yeah,
Tom. Yeah.
yeah, Tom. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
Tom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Carry
I
on,
am your
sorry.
friend.
I have.
Yeah, but I think he was basically, it was wonderful drawings of all of his art, and then at like halfway down it goes, and I am a strong and avid Scientologist, like many a free-thinking man. I believe in L. Ron Hubbard, and it was just like lines and lines and lines of this shit afterwards.
You can't start like any free thinking man and then go on about some weird ass fucking thing you believe.
Yeah.
Those do not connect.
No, it
Any
just,
oh.
and I mean it's not even a conspiracy. Like, people know this shit is bullshit. It's obviously bullshit, but it's still
With the Mormonism and stuff as well, especially that seems to be, from what I've gathered so far. I've got one episode left of it. It's only 3 episodes, so it's worth checking out on Netflix.
yeah.
It seems to be based around just trying to stop the ridiculousness coming out. There was something else after it, after the salamander thing. There was another thing about how was it now? I've just seen it. Oh, it's gone. It'll come to me probably in an hour while we're talking about something else.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there was something else
Yeah.
involved in it, but yeah, it was that basically, like you were saying. It's just so ridiculous when you see it. It's like how not only how do you believe
people
it?
believe this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
why is it so important to them as well? It's like, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's the sunk cost fallacy, I think it is. Like, where people, when they're gambling, they go like, oh, but I've spent 30 grand. If I just spend another 10, I'll get it back and more. I'm on the streak, man. I'm nearly hitting my streak.
yeah. You
It's
can't
like
support, you don't wanna
that.
stop.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with religion. Like, oh, no. If I admit it now, I've been a dumbass the entire time. So I
Yeah.
cannot admit it now.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
actually, yeah. I watched there's another documentary in there about some like art fraud that was going on that basically says the same thing, and that's what I thought. The woman that was
Yeah.
having all these frauds given to her, like, in my opinion, to a certain point, she did not know, and then after a certain point, she chose to not know that they were obvious
Yeah.
fakes because she was
Yeah.
too far in by then.
Yeah.
Oh man, the world is an horrendous place, as we reiterate every fucking week.
Yeah, and it's getting weirder. You know, there's signs of light on the horizon, but I'm interested to see what like the comedy scene's going to be like afterwards. You know,
I think the comedy scene always survives.
oh, it will,
I reckon
but it's what happens after. Like, do we lose a lot of comedians who were like on the fence about whether they wanted to continue, and this is sort of decided to them that they're not interested? Yeah.
Did you see? I'll cut this out because it doesn't seem fair to be saying about this. For the person. So let me just make a note. 23.
Yeah, 23.
1.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. Did you see that said announced now that he's not going to do anymore? He's stepping away from live stand up.
Really?
But yeah, man. Yeah, I was really surprised with that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. It's good. That's the thing. It's going to put a lot of people's priorities into question.
It's a shame
like
to not, especially for he's really good as well. He's not someone I expected.
Yeah, no, and he seemed like he was really making some headway when.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's interesting. The other thing that sort of is going to be interesting is if we get an influx of comedians as well, if you know what I mean. If there's a lot of people who've been thinking, oh, I've always wanted to try it, but I've never been able to do it, and now finally that COVID's over, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And
I mean, that probably will happen, but I don't know about you. I've noticed since I started, there's always been like a steady stream of people coming in, starting this, and a steady stream as well, though, at the same time of people dropping out as well. So I don't think you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that I can get on a stage at some point.
Oh, and we'll all be able to get on a stage at some point. I've got an idea for something I'm planning
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Oh, yeah. I'm planning to actually, I'll cut this out as well. I'll just cut this whole bit out. Yeah, I think this week then, I know you went first last week, but I was thinking because your thing has some semblance of a structure, we should do yours first because mine's just, as you know, just a bunch of crap and there is no structure to a bunch of crap. So I think it makes a lot more sense to do yours first.
I'm going to be honest with you. Mine is going to be vaguely unstructured as well because I haven't actually been able to put it all together, but I do know all the information. So we'll see how it goes.
Yours is based on some sort of fact. So
it is more structure
than mine.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that.
Cool.
Okay. So the year is.
What's the title?
Oh, the title is let's just go with the terrorist nuke.
Okay, I like it already. I'm very into it already.
Yeah. So basically, do you know the Japanese cult called Shinrikyo? Shinrikyo.
No,
right,
never heard of that.
Fucking difficult to pronounce, but basically,
good job.
Yeah, they were a Japanese cult. Now, originally, they started as a yoga outfit. Believe it or not, they were literally just a yoga group that would come together, do yoga underneath the instruction of their leader, who fucking the name escapes me at the moment. But we'll come to that later on. Anyway, this guy, he's sort of enjoying himself as a yogi. You know, he's probably having his feel of the favorite ones. You know, he's like, "Oh no, my darling, you must lean over this way."
Look at you said Japan, didn't you as well? Just so
yeah.
It's not what I was thinking of. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like. It seems fairly normal, you know. It's just
Hannibal Lecter was a chef at one point.
Yeah, exactly. So it starts there, but gradually evolves into this cult where this guy's basically saying, "Yes, I am the second coming. I am God. I am, all this. And what we must do is bring about the apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a turn of the normal narrative. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's not the sort of usual kind of, pussy Jesus. No. This Jesus is coming at you with the fucking,
With the
the
fire.
force, with the force of 1,000 winds.
He's basically
And,
the Antichrist, then, isn't he? He's basically then.
yeah.
The signs of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this guy, right, he goes, you know what we need to do? We need to get ourselves a testing area, yeah? A nice big ass testing area. We're in Japan. Where's a nice big wasteland nearby? Australia, mate.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking at all.
Yeah, what were you thinking then, mate?
You got me there.
Where were you gonna go?
I should have guessed from the accent, but Nagasaki is what? Nagasaki?
Nah,
The
you
place that
see,
got bombed.
Nagasaki, Hiroshima, those are just
see.
small fry, mate. Those are small fry. Like, if you want to test yourself a nuclear weapon, mate, you need to have it somewhere where no one can see shit. So they bought themselves 1 million acres.
Oh, okay. So they did
1 million acres
that's a
in the
lot, isn't
middle
it?
of the outback. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking
Hard to put
somewhere
it
the
into-
size of the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How the hell do they have that much money, first of all?
Yeah.
As a yoga class.
Because it's
How
the
much yoga What
outback.
are they doing?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
outback. They're like, well, how many acres do you want, mate? And it's like, well, we need 1 million. It's like, oh, no worries, mate. No worries. It's 120 fucking Australian dollars per 100,000. Fine. So.
I was thinking through that as well. I was like, if it's that cheap, how has no one else bought it? But then I was also thinking, why would anyone else buy it? Why would you buy it?
Because it's literally just.
Yeah, like a wasteland with some animals that will kill you.
Yeah. Do you want to live in Mad Max? That's all you can do here.
Basically, it. Yeah.
Except it wasn't. It wasn't all they could do because they built a fucking compound, and in this compound, they started testing certain things. Now, they didn't go full blown straight away. What they were testing initially was something called sarin gas.
Doesn't sound good.
It's not a good thing at all. It's most well known for their most prolific attack, which was the 1995 sarin attack in the Japanese underground. And supposedly the one that happened the year before as well, which I can't exactly remember where it was. Lots of people died. It was not cool, quite frankly.
Funny enough. Terrorist
yeah.
attack. Not cool. Oh.
But this is the thing, right? They had to find somewhere to test this biological weapon. So their Australia compound. And what they've been doing is they've been going like, okay, let's take ourselves some sheep and we'll inject them with the sarin, see what happens. Okay, that's a pretty good one. We'll keep that strain.
The raw end of the deal, don't they? Sarin gas and wax. Jesus.
It's brutal.
Fucked.
Yeah. It's always the sheep that get the worst. Like, yeah, everyone likes to test biological weapons on sheep for some reason.
Apart from the Welsh, they like to fuck them.
That's true. That's true.
No, apparently, if you live outside of the UK, everyone assumes it's a Scottish that fuck sheep.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's also like there's a really famous comedian, Gabriel Iglesias. You know? Yeah. Well, even he, a master of fucking accents, and he is a master of accents, still thought that this kind of voice like this was an Irish accent to it.
Oh,
it's like, no, that's Scottish, you fucking.
You know that.
I've been using that word too often recently, by the way. Cut that out, because for some reason, I got it stuck in my head. The word. Word.
Yeah, I already did it in the last podcast, and I've already planned to do it in this one twice.
Yeah.
Just
the problem with it is, I've been watching a lot of old school comedies recently, and that word flies, dude. That word is everywhere.
Where was that?
you can't listen to a movie for about longer than half an hour during the 90s without hearing the R bomb drop hard, man.
I was thinking about this. I had this conversation recently with someone. Just ran a
Yeah.
tangent for a sec. It's like it was my gothic mate that I talked to, and you remind me a lot of him. To be honest, I think it's why we get on so well. Like you're just a sound guy and that, like in the same way that I am. We grew up the same kind of age and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just the kind of words you would hear, and you would say, and it
all the time, and it never meant at all someone who was developmentally challenged. I would never have ever used that word in that context because
you wouldn't have said it.
Horrible.
Yeah. Well, back then it wasn't horrible. That's the thing as well.
No, but that's the thing. Yeah.
Because got with it, like when we was young, like people would like be like, "Ah, you're gay" and stuff like that. And now if you say that, that's it's another example of it.
Yeah, exactly. I did try really hard to quit the calling stuff gay thing. That took a while, man. It took because it was so goddamn common. Yeah. It's like, that's gay, this is gay, that's gay. Yeah.
Like at a boys' school, that like that would be one of the main insults you would throw people.
Yeah. It's the main one you threw around because kids are immature and anything that's different.
And it's all boys,
apparently. Yeah, especially. Yeah, and that's the one thing you don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of straight dudes, like
exactly, yeah,
because you're gonna, God damn.
Yeah, I meant to. I was going to say that to you anyway, just in general, that conversation, because I thought about that and it bothers me. I've just been thinking about this in general, cancel culture. It bothers me that it's all about the language and the exact words you use, not remembering the context behind it, not remembering why you might say it or anything, or not even listening to.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's like, again, I would never have used that term to refer to someone who was developmentally challenged. That is never the way I used that.
Yeah,
the only time I ever use that term is when someone did something that was totally and completely R-worded.
It basically just means that word, just when we grew up, just meant you're really stupid. What you're
goddamn stupid. Really what are you doing? You're being a dumbass.
What's hilarious for that is as well, though, because that's what that basically meant. And now that word is, off the table. But I get so much flack because I use the word stupid when someone's bitchy or something. As soon as you call them stupid, they can't take that. And it's like, my kids use that in school. How can you not deal with the word stupid? It's just the level of that.
Did you actually know as well? Before the R word was the R word, stupid was the word you weren't allowed to say. Because that is what they called people with learning disabilities. They called them stupid.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just, language is just, you should never, just
it never stops.
Language constantly changes.
Yeah. If provided you can tell when someone's heart is in the right place. And when it's not, fuck that person. Seriously, fuck that person.
Exactly.
If I ever see someone talking like that to someone who genuinely is in need or isn't, it's not their fault, fuck that person.
Yeah.
But, man, I can't say some really cool words.
But I think it's really good as well, though, making a point of it like that, because most people, I think, will agree with that. And that's another thing I've learned, like just looking at cancel culture lately, looking at cancel culture in the sense of when it's just something you said, you know what I mean? Or in the sense of normally when it's taken out of context. There's a lot of people that should be cancelled that are cancelled, but there's a lot of people that have attempted or have been cancelled or attempted to be cancelled and shouldn't have been because the situation was just not that. And a lot of times just they said the wrong literal words and it's like, calm down.
Everyone chill. Everyone relax. Okay. And this isn't a Cosby situation. If it was, that'd be a problem. Okay, let's chill.
I think I'm going to develop my own language and try and get it going just so people can't take the words I use wrong because they're my words. I've created this language. A little bit of it.
I like it. Yeah.
But anyway, we've gone on a huge tangent there.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Yes. Okay. So they've been testing the sarin gas on sheep. So the people sort of, and that's absolutely proven. Later on, they sort of went into the area once they found out what was going on, and they were like, okay, test these bodies of the sheep. Oh shit, that's some serious shit in these sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the
So-
people that did it though. They tested them afterwards to see what it did to the sheep.
Oh,
Did you
the cult were doing their stuff, but later on, after investigators came in, they
Okay.
checked it, and it was like, yes, these sheep were indeed killed by
Okay.
sarin gas. But that wasn't the most interesting thing they did, because this bit is where we get into the conspiracies here, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not actually 100% proven. But
Okay.
the rumors are that there was uranium on site. And that is exactly the reason why they wanted this specific 1 million area of land.
Oh,
Because
already
what they
in
were
there.
attempting to do, yeah, what they were attempting to do was refine the uranium that they were trying to mine on site.
Right.
Now,
How? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
I was just going to ask how abundant like uranium is generally, but
yeah,
yeah,
not very abundant. But this is the thing: once you've got yourself 1 million square miles, you got a fairly reasonable chance of finding at least something. You know, you've got a chance. You've got a chance. And there's rumors that they were sort of testing the area around beforehand, trying to find the right ideals. Now, the most interesting thing about it is that this cult didn't just have the usual kinds of people in it. It wasn't all yoga enthusiasts. They had actual chemical engineers, like physicists, stuff like that joined in with this cult.
yeah. Well, I assume it started as a yoga thing. Then after a certain point, it's like,
Oh yeah,
once all the terrorists are in the yoga place and there's no yoga people left anymore, is it still really a yoga place?
yeah. Not really about yoga anymore. We don't
No.
even do yoga anymore. We just fucking kill.
We don't do the downward dog and explosion. I don't know where I was going with that. Carry on.
Yeah, the exploding nuclear downward dog. Yeah. So, where are we? Yeah. So they first go out west to Australia in April 1993. They test the chemical weapons without interruption. But
Yeah, because you wouldn't know.
yeah, but in where was it? No, but on late May the 28th, 1993, the earth beneath West Australian outback, the West Australian outback, fucking shook.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
3.6 on the Richter scale, which isn't huge,
For
but it's
man-made.
definitely, yeah, that is definitely enough to be detected. Now,
Yeah.
the most interesting thing about it is that people have, and again, this is rumors here and there, but there was a man who was actually there to view the entire thing, supposedly, who's or not to view the entire thing, but come there afterwards and check it out. He was a oh fuck me.
Oh, so he went down after the pact.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's
okay.
his face? Here it is. Fucking car. Yeah, Mr. Harry Mason, right?
Oh, that's a good name.
He spent his professional life working in the mining sector, searching for gold right up to his death in 2014 from a heart attack while he was traveling in Vietnam. Now, this guy appears on multiple YouTube videos all over the place going like, oh no, it definitely was this, it was a nuclear explosion. He said he's got, other people to come along and say stuff. Throughout the years, people have tried to remove any sort of truth from it, sort of try and discredit the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't explain what happened in the outback, because there was no signs at all of any fault lines in the area. There's no volcanic activity. There's nothing like that. That thing is just dead open ground.
And it wouldn't be special then that they'd know that anyway, wouldn't they? They'd look at it and be like, well, that's not nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the only other thing it could have been potentially would be a meteorite. But there's only two forms of meteorite that you can use, realistically, in this scenario. One, the one that's going to impact the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
That's going to give you a big enough shake to produce the Richter effect of 3.6. Because it's this big rock coming out of nowhere, slams into the ground, boom. But the problem
You'd
is,
expect someone would have seen that, but
yeah. Well, this is the thing. You'd expect someone to see the nuke as well, but the outback is so big that even that wouldn't be seen.
but the nuke, yeah, but a meteor is still going to come from the sky, though. A nuke is, would it? No, I suppose it's just an explosion on the floor to test it out, and it wouldn't.
This is the thing. This is the thing as well, because the meteorite, if it was going to hit the ground, would have left a crater. No two ways about it. You would have a crater there. They looked over the place, no crater whatsoever.
Oh, yeah,
It
okay.
didn't exist.
No,
right?
not a meteorite then, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the other thing a meteorite could do is airburst. But if an airburst meteorite goes off, it's not actually big enough to produce the 3.6 Richter scale effect, because it's flying in the air and boom, like the one over Russia. You know, the one that sort of detonated a load of stuff.
Tunguski.
Yeah, the Tunguski one. Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
Like 1910 or something like that one is.
Exactly. But you would have seen like some form of proof of that happening.
Yeah, there still would have been a big blast on the floor, and like you said, he would have had to have done some damage to the floor to create enough force in the floor to create an earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Here's the thing about a nuclear bomb, though. If you're going to detonate a nuclear bomb, believe it or not, you do not detonate it on the floor.
Okay.
You detonate it slightly above the ground, and then that sort of gives you the full sort of boom. Otherwise, it sort of goes up in one direction and doesn't sort of spread it.
Yeah. I can understand what you mean just from looking at the explosion, where they mushroom as well, I guess.
Yeah. So
I know what you mean anyway.
Yeah. So that's there. We've got, earthquake can't really happen. We've got meteorite potentially, but can't really happen. And we've already got like proof that these guys were trying to research this kind of stuff. They are a death cult, all this kind of stuff. They're trying to bring about the apocalypse. What is the one best thing you can use for an apocalypse? It's a goddamn nuclear bomb.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, nukes would be the way to go.
Yeah, and again, actually not that hard to make a nuclear bomb, believe it or not. I mean,
once you find the material.
Once you find the material, it's a very simple system that you've got to build. Basically, you have one part that's the sort of detonating material, and then you've got the other part, which is a pellet, usually of, I think it's either plutonium or uranium pellet, and it just fires at high speed into the other material, causing the fission, and boom, off we go.
Yeah, that makes sense, because they always talk about how like nuclear stuff is so like super reactive, like, just more of a case of there's not really much you can do about it. You do it and then just run, basically.
Yeah,
you can't run,
and that's and it's a similar sort of thing to like thermite. Thermite is pretty useless when it's by itself, but you put a magnesium strip in that to get it hot enough to start the ignition, it's off. And as I say, we've got physicists, we've got chemists, we've got all these people in this group ready to do this stuff. They've already been testing biological weapons. They're already sort of in a position to mine this stuff. This miner says, there's this kind of stuff out there.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. The miner as well. Yeah.
So he's like, this shit could happen. It's perfectly possible that this could happen. And he also manages to get a lot of anonymous, admittedly, reports from people who were living around the area that on the day they were like, oh yeah, no, there was a massive flash in the sky, mate. It just blew up like a Christmas tree.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm still finding it hard to get past the point as well, though. I'm assuming so. Like, is uranium something, or whatever they were looking for, something that is just in the ground and in random places? It's not everywhere, but
it is. It's mostly found in sort of larger deposits, but you can find little bits of it here and there. And of course, like, there's huge amounts of like restrictions on how you can get your hands on this stuff, where you can get your hands on this stuff. Yeah. And
but that's very fucking reason.
Yeah, and that's where the conspiracy comes in, because
Okay.
if someone would, say, for example, be able to create their own nuclear bomb, that entire organization is now fucking useless at their job, or they need to
Yeah.
upgrade their fucking their equipment. And also sorry, god damn it, Jesus, I keep burping again. It's terrible. But do the Australian government actually want to admit that a foreign terrorist cell detonated a test nuclear weapon on their soil?
No, they would not
No.
want to admit that. But
Absolutely not.
And it's surprising as well, because of people, I just thought about it, like people have this idea that Australia, like the government and stuff, is very chilled, but they're not. They have loads of rules. They have so many rules.
Yeah.
That would be crazy to us. But so at the same time, I could see them not wanting it to go out more, just for the fact that they like them portrayed in a certain way.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like, you don't want other people having that same idea.
No.
With that level of the outback, Christ knows what someone could do in those areas. You'd have no idea what someone was experimenting on. Yeah. All it takes is a big enough group to get together and go, oh yeah, we'll just buy this area. And again, some fucking Australian, oh yeah, mate, go ahead, buy it, mate. I don't fucking care.
Where did they have all the money for it all, though? Because that's got to be an expensive thing. I mean, they're going over to Australia, buying 1 million acres, and then also building I'm guessing a lot of it came from donations, normally, like with most cults,
a lot of it donations. And again, like, these people were like physicists, chemists, people like that. They weren't necessarily poor people, and whatever money they could get, they gave it to the cause. And sort of,
and I suppose you've got the know-how, you could do it in cheaper ways too, if you know how to do it as well.
And the thing is, as well,
it's not as unfathomable as I thought, to be fair. That concept, that side of it, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, everyone looks at it and goes, "Oh well, is it that likely that they could have actually done it, though? Is it, well, it's a nuclear bomb. Well, yes, but a nuclear bomb doesn't necessarily mean the Tsar Bomber.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that footage of the Tsar Bomber?
I assumed it was some nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it's the biggest bomb that ever went off.
Is that the one in the ocean, by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Actually, put it up on YouTube if you're okay finding it.
I should be able to.
Yeah, there we go.
Just Jesus.
That's the Tsar Bomber.
Let's go back a bit. Fucking hell.
That's a different one entirely. But...
Oh. That looks like the ocean again, them ones.
So again, this is what a nuclear bomb looks like.
Was that the right one?
I don't think it actually was, but regardless, this is what a there's so many nuclear bombs that went off during the fucking.
Hard to know, isn't it?
That's it. That's the bad boy.
Which bit?
Bad boy. Go back slightly.
That one there. You
There
can
it
see.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did I miss? I might have missed part of
That
it.
now that
detonated 2 miles above the ground. There was very little radioactive fallout.
yeah,
Rose right
same
into the cloud
thing.
layer and kept on rising.
Look at that.
It flattened out when the cloud was 40 miles high.
Wow.
The blast
It literally
wave was still large
clapped
enough
the
to
fucking
measure-
stratosphere.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, it's not that big. It's only a little bomb in comparison. This thing was probably smaller than the one that they would have detonated at Hiroshima, which was a 1 megaton bomb. That,
one in the
Tsar
outback,
Bomber, the Tsar Bomber was 50 megatons.
Where was that it was being dropped and stuff? Because it was hard to figure out.
Oh, that was just in the middle of Siberia. Yeah. They don't give a
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
Not a lot,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's and as they say, an airburst nuclear weapon does not leave that much radioactive stuff behind. But in that area, there is a distinct increase in the amount of radiation.
Oh, what, in the Australian outback?
Yeah.
In that bit,
Just
yeah.
in around that area. Not a huge amount, but enough that something happened.
If there's suddenly a radioactive signature that wasn't there before, and probably isn't in the surrounding areas, for example, there's a good chance something happened there. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take all the facts we've got so far. We've
Okay.
got a Japanese cult hell-bent on apocalypse. We've seen them use this stuff 2 years later after this when they did the sarin incident, so they're willing to kill people. They've got
Oh yeah, yeah.
scientists on board who are completely down to build this kind of stuff. They've got the potential opportunity to get uranium. Even if they didn't get it there, they could get it to that area somehow.
And they
It's
could
a
have just
big
got
open
lucky.
country.
They could have
Yeah.
just got lucky as well, you know.
Well, potentially, but like we've got people in the outback saying there was a big flash. We've got this guy going to his grave committed to the idea that this actually happened. Like increased radiation in the area. Like
Yeah. It's so, like, is there a lot of pushback then saying that it's not the case still? Like,
there's still a fair bit of pushback. There's still a lot of people going like,
What-
oh yes, but if you look at this, then we don't actually know what happened. What actually happened there? We can't be sure.
what happened
Okay,
with
if
the
we
cult
can't be
itself?
sure. Sorry?
What happened like with
The
the
cult
cult
itself?
itself and stuff? You know.
The cult itself. I'm so glad you asked this bit. This is my favorite fucking bit.
I love when your reaction is like that straight away. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm interested.
Because they are not called Aum Shinrikyo anymore. They are called Aleph. They did
Aleph?
themselves a bit of a rebrand.
Oh God, okay.
So I shit you not. The Doomsday Count, founded by Shoko Asahara in 1984, carried out the deadly Tokyo subway sarin attack in 1995 and was responsible for the Matsumoto sarin attack the previous year in 1994. The group never confessed to all of this stuff, but after exhausting 6 appeals, Asahara and his followers were executed as a punishment for the 1995 terrorist attacks.
Okay.
The actual cult itself still exists as Aleph, the Japanese cult, and they insist, look, we had nothing to do with all this kind of stuff. Yes, we want you all to die, but on your own terms, okay?
We want to bring about the apocalypse, but we want you to do it yourselves.
Yeah, and don't worry,
Which
you're
will
doing
happen
a
eventually.
bang up job. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
a really damn good job.
It would definitely happen eventually. Odds are probably earlier rather than later.
Yeah, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the first ever terrorist nuclear bomb on Australian soil.
Do we know what happened like after, like, you know, like directly after like the bomb and all that stuff? Did they get in trouble for that? Was there an actual thing like?
Okay, so the nuke test itself, nothing happened. It was actually about a year or so later, after they left the area trying to flee, that people came in and sort of went, okay, something weird happened. They started talking to this bloke, and he was like, oh yeah, no, definitely something fucking weird happened. You know?
Oh, and they fled. What? They're back in Japan.
Yeah, and they fled back to Japan, and then when they were in Japan, that's when they did the first sarin attack in 1994, followed by the second sarin attack in 1995. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then since then, God knows. Then in that case, they had
God
to
knows.
rebrand, and then, like you
But
said,
the
some of
thing
the people
is-
were done for it. Then
Yeah, but the thing is,
okay.
well, yeah, I mean, 5 of them were executed, so yeah, they were definitely found to be guilty of something. And then it leads you to the new question, which is, okay, does that mean that there is a group of people out there who, unrelated to any government whatsoever, have learned the capability to create a nuclear weapon?
You know what, though? It does beg the one question. It seems like that was the case, but at the same time, it's like, if that was the case, that they were successful with this, why
Why not repeat it?
25 years later, have you not heard any more from it? Maybe it was just that was the best they could do and it wasn't good enough,
Yeah.
and they realised they were crap, so they went back to
That's
gas.
what I kind of think it might have been. Because I think, like, again, this nuke didn't have to go off in a particularly amazing way to have been detected in 3.6.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's a nuclear bomb going off, but it is still just a big bomb, basically, at this stage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
given that, and given how complicated it is to make that kind of nuclear bomb, look at Beirut, mate. You know,
Yeah. When
That
you were talking
wasn't
about big
nukes.
explosions, that came
Yeah.
to my head. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
That
a
was-
nuke at all. That was just a shitload of ammonium nitrate stored in a terrible fucking position.
For years and years and years, and they knew
Yeah.
as well. The government knew.
Yeah, and it just went kabang.
Yeah.
And like, if you've got that, and you go, well, a nuclear weapon, okay, it's difficult to track. It can, you take it here. You've got the
Yeah.
radiation. You've got to try and hide the thing. You're never going to get it through customs. All this kind of stuff. It's easier just to fucking poison people.
Yeah, it sounds like they tried and failed, doesn't it? More than anything.
Yeah, it sounds like they tried and failed, or it wasn't logistically possible for them at the time. So, sarin it is.
So it is. Let's go back to fucking sheep over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that
But I
sounds.
thought,
Yeah, that sounds right to me. That sounds bang on, to be honest. Yeah.
I just think it's such a fucking fascinating story. It's got death
Yeah.
cults, it's got nuclear weapons, it's got sheep, it's got everything, mate.
Don't you love it? Like you can endlessly read into conspiracies and true crime and all that kind of stuff, which are all linked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And every day you'll still find a whole load of new examples of ridiculous stupidity or just craziness that people have done.
Yeah.
I mean,
it never ends. The human race is quite bizarrely capable of some really sadistic shit.
really sadistic shit, and also just pure fucking stupidity. Which, like I said, your story has some semblance of logic. There's a story there. There's truth to it.
There's geniuses, like genuine nuclear level geniuses working on the stuff that day. So these guys, they're not stupid. However,
there is some truth and there is some logic to that story. Well, you can debate about what the actual events
you
are
can
and what
debate the
happened
truth
and
of it.
the
You can
facts
debate
behind
it.
it. But you know what happened? There's some facts behind it. That is not the case with mine, Nathan. That is not
I love
the case
the way
with
you
mine.
said that. It was like it was sort of exploding out of you. That's not the case of mine.
I feel like
Jesus
that.
Christ.
I feel like that. So last week, this was the first for me doing this. Last week, we covered on my story a conspiracy theory that is not really a theory, it's just a fact. And for the first time this week, I wanted to do a conspiracy theory which is not based on fact. I can't even introduce it in a smart, logical way at all.
The kind of conspiracy theory where you just go, why though?
Like, why? How? Not even that, just how?
How? Yeah.
Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We put the little thing on. I think you mentioned it. I talked to a few people too, and this was the consensus I got. We are going to this week talk about flat fucking Earth.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Goddamn people, dude. Like, it never ends. It never ends. Like, it never ends with these people, man.
This is real. People really believe this. I thought, no, this is just made out to be a thing on YouTube. This can't actually be real. But then when you go onto
100%.
YouTube, you find out there are people that really believe this.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly didn't. I was trying to figure out a way to structure this and how to get into it, and we started, and I couldn't figure out any. There is no semblance of structure. I thought the only way we can start it. I've got a little video where it's a flat earther who, in all fairness to him, fair play to him, he did a video before or something, and he decided with Lad Bible, I'm going to reply to some comments and we'll record it and stuff, and talk about flat Earth. Yeah, I've made sure in the video.
It didn't go well for him, I imagine.
Oh, it was just him talking. So to him, sure. But I've made sure that in the video, the bits come up, so we've got plenty of chance to pause it in between as we go along, and we can just rip them apart, and we'll go from there.
My God, we're gonna have to stop this thing a lot.
Oh yeah. Fair play to the guy. Like I did think this. Fair play to the dude. You know, he's willing. He doesn't seem like
he tried.
He tried. He didn't seem like a twat. There was some stuff I had to cut out because I'm like, yeah, you're speaking to some sense there. The stuff you're saying makes sense, but it doesn't make sense with what you're talking about. You're basically saying you should have free thinking. You should be able to think it. Yeah. You're not.
It's the leap, isn't it? It's the leap. It's like if X equals Y, how much is a chicken?
Man,
I guess the Earth is
yeah,
flat.
Wait. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Quickly.
Of course, I've cut before we even start. Of course, he fucking looks like that. Of
Yeah.
course, he fucking does. Of course. What, he's got the New York Knicks hat on because no one can tell me what to think, bruh. I got my own mind, you know.
It's that whole level of thinking is like, it's like exactly what we said at the beginning earlier, like with religion. As soon as you say I'm a free thinker, I'm allowed to like think a certain way, and then you follow some ridiculous. Okay, let's just play it. Oh, it's gonna grind my gears, Nath.
Okay.
Oh, where's the play? I don't know how you play it.
Let's do it, I guess. If the Earth is flat, why hasn't anyone fallen off yet? From a flat Earth perspective, we live within an enclosed system. Whether or not that means there's a physical container, or is it a force? Is it a force of nature? Is it electromagnetism?
What do you?
Go on, go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
What if it's some kind of container? What, like we're in a fucking Tupperware? What the fuck is this guy thinking?
We're
in a closed system. No, we're not. That's the third law of thermodynamics. We can't have a closed system without energy coming into the system. Oh my god.
You know what I think it is? I think he's getting confused with real life in the Simpsons movie.
Well, yeah, he is a bit, just a bit.
Now that means there's a physical container, or is it a force? Is it a force of nature? Is it electromagnetism? Is it, there are different explanations as to how we could be contained. If you're going west, right, you're gonna end up going in a complete circle if you just stayed west the entire time, just like if you were on a globe, because of the positioning of the North Pole.
Okay.
What?
Beyond.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
What? No. What?
Should we hear that bit again? Because it's really hard to understand what he's saying, isn't it?
Let's hear that bit back again.
Okay.
There are different explanations as to how we could be contained. If you're going west, right, you're gonna end up going in a complete circle if you just stayed west the entire time, just like if you were on a globe, because of the positioning of the North Pole.
Okay. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So what he's saying is basically, you will always be going west, because that's where the relation of the North Pole is. So let's imagine
is the middle of this giant disc, isn't he?
North is the middle of this giant disc. Where the fuck is south?
There is no south, apparently. There is none.
Where the fuck is south, man?
No. South. Sorry, south is the whole edge, is what he's saying. I think it's. I don't know.
Yeah, but that doesn't work either, though, does it? Because then you're still walking south no matter which direction you go. If it's in the middle and that's north and you're going that way, that's south, that's south, that's south, that's south.
Well,
if it's north up there and that's south down there and you're going that way and it's west, west. What is this guy talking about?
I think you're forgetting about the electromagnetism, Nathan.
Oh, I'm forgetting about the electromagnetism.
You're forgetting about the electromagnetism.
My sincerest apologies. How could I forget about the electromagnetism? Oh shit!
I figured out how to do it as well. If we can jump in between, that works well. Should we hear his next point?
Let's go for it.
I think we covered that then. So I'm sure it'll make more sense as we go.
Okay.
Wow. I'm going to take that back, but let's see.
We'll see how we go.
So hard.
What is beyond the border of the flat Earth? Oh, I wish I knew. I would love to one day explore and find out.
Hold on. I just love that. I wish I knew.
I wish I knew.
If you're starting it off with that, I wish I knew, you cannot then go, I wish I knew, and then explain what it is.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It doesn't work.
And also, it's like, I don't know what's out the other side of it. I wish I knew. I mean, there's something with stars in it up there, but that's got absolutely nothing to do with what's either side of us.
Space is fake, remember? Space is fake.
Yeah, space doesn't exist. It's all just air, and satellites are just planes.
No, it's like, I think it's like a big sheet with lights in it, is what I see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? We're all living in a Tupperware or a colander that's turned upside down.
God's contact lens fell down and we got stuck under it. Simpsons.
And he's looking for it everywhere, and When he finds it, that's the rapture.
Oh, random tangent. I was thinking about grabbing this video, but I decided I couldn't do it just because the ridiculousness of it. But there was this flat Earth simulation thing, and they were talking about how it all. Oh man, they were talking about it all as if it's pure fact, and I just can't listen to it. They were describing it and showing it like it was Discworld from Terry Pratchett. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I think of every time. The great Artuin and the 4 elephants on her back, and
that's and the turtle. There's some
and
turtle.
the turtle is the great Artuin, the one that floats around, and then there's the 4 elephants on the back, and then there's the disc on top of them, and it's all and
maybe Flat Earth and Terry Pratchett Discworld are going to merge in like 50 years, and it'll be a whole new Scientology. Where they genuinely
I'd like that.
I'd
go with the Discworld. Yeah, I'll go with the Discworld stuff. You know, another tangent. You know, in the Discworld, right? It doesn't work via science. There's the Science of the Discworld book, and there's no physics in the Discworld. There's no chemistry. There's no biology. There is just narrative and narrativia, and like everything that happens in the Discworld universe happens because it is appropriate for the narrative.
Yeah.
And that is the actual rules of their universe. That's what these people think. Yeah, that's what these people. Yeah, that's the actual rules of their universe. Then,
yeah.
It
just fits their narrative.
Yeah, fix the narrative.
Okay, now that's gonna happen. Scientology happened. Mormonism happened. This will happen.
Yeah, they can just go. Oh well, you know. Narrative. There we go. It's fine. Narrative.
Anyway, let's let him finish his point. I suppose.
Let's let him finish the point. Yeah,
because I'm sure it's going to be really well thought out.
I knew. I wish I knew.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the positioning of the North Pole.
Okay, here we go.
What is beyond the border of the flat Earth? Oh, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I would love to one day explore and find out whether or not anything to do with Antarctica is the way we thought it was, whether or not it's the edge of the Earth. It's, in my eyes, is one of two things, right? It's either we
one
of two things, right?
It's one of two things, right?
Find the container, we find the edge, so to speak, whatever's keeping us locked here, or we don't find any edge at all and we just keep going. We've been fighting for the entirety of human.
So either we find what we want or we don't find what we want.
Now, what he's saying is even more dumb.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what he's saying is even more dumb. Is that? Oh my god, I can't believe this. Okay, so what he's saying is either it's a finite space which we're trapped in, or it is an infinite plane of flat land,
which surely goes against his containment idea.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
And not only that, but like, in what physical fucking realm is it? What's underneath it? This permanent flat thing? Does it just go down forever and ever and ever? You've just got worms forever.
Oh, down. Got you. To dig. Yeah.
Yeah. If you dig, what is on the bottom of the flat? Can you dig through a flat Earth?
I don't think they even know, because some of them seem to think space is fake. Some of them seem to think that it's an actual disc floating in space. So, would you just fall off eventually if you go down, if you go through?
This is the thing. Like all of these flat earthers, it's weird because they all seem to think that they're on the same team, but at the same time, every single one of them has got a different excuse for why this shit works.
That's what happens when it's so easy to point out why it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, that wouldn't work. Well, what happens if this? Take that, atheists. No, what?
I would love to argue Flat Earth was real to someone that was a reasonable person that didn't realise that I didn't believe it. But I reckon I could bullshit enough to make it sound like I believed it.
Oh, I could definitely fake it. I could fake it till I made it. Yeah.
That seems to be what's happened constantly, and now it's just gone way too far.
I think so. I think that's a thing as well. Like a lot of these YouTube channels, I reckon they don't believe any of their own bullshit. I think there's I reckon it's a 50-50 split. I shit you not. I reckon it's a 50-50 split. Like half of them straight up believe it, and half of them are just opportunistic little shits going like, man, you know what? I can make a shitload of money off these suckers. They will buy anything.
Yeah. But I think you're giving them too much logic there. Too much. You're giving them. You're giving them too much. What you know? What the word I'm thinking of? You're giving
credit.
them too much credit. There you go.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I don't think it's that, because I think there's more of an audience of people to look at it and go, "You are fucking dumb," and people to take the piss out of it.
Yeah,
I think there's much more of an audience for that.
But I think that's part of it, because again, like YouTube stuff, it like people comment on these videos saying you're a dumbass. You know what happens when you do that? YouTube puts more of it into your algorithm.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
These people are making a bomb, an absolute bomb, off of just people raging at their posts.
I mean, I can't argue with that. If people are out there willing to believe the Earth is flat, I can't argue with taking advantage of that stupidity. Well,
but
to an extent,
that's the thing.
YouTube views, I can understand that.
Yeah. Like, you know, who's it hurting is probably what they think, but it is actually hurting people, because this is where this QAnon shit comes from as well.
Yeah, and this at the beginning as well, but now people are believing it more and more. It's like, oh man, let's get back to Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Let him finish his
human existence for land and resources. So imagine you're the
Hang on, let's
first
pause it here, but
where
let's
you
pause it here for a second
discover
as well.
that beyond a point.
I've just realised, New York Yankees hat, Chicago Bulls t-shirt.
Is that what it is? He's just wearing them because they're matching. Look, that's all he's doing.
I think it's the Chicago Bulls. Anyway, I can't be sure, but they're definitely not New York.
Actually, yeah, that's Michael Jordan, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, pick your fucking team.
So even the clothes make no sense. There's no logic in even the clothes he's wearing.
Yeah, and I think
they kind of
like
together.
Don't get me wrong. I know different sports, all that shit, but like, pick your city. Like, isn't it from a city? Like, isn't that what it's all about? Like, why are you fucking into Chicago so much, bro?
Well, no, only his upper body's into Chicago. His head is all about New York. I don't want to know what his trousers support. I don't want to know.
Yeah. I got one of those Chicago bodies in the New York head. You know what I'm saying?
My trousers only like football.
My trousers from Texas, y'all.
Hey, what New York Knicks? What do they play? What sport is that?
The Knicks. Yeah, Knicks are baseball. Yeah,
okay, that works.
Yeah,
he just loves his balls, that man.
Yeah, loves them balls.
Resources. So imagine you're the first, or you discover that beyond a point, there's more of this, and you have the money to keep that a secret. You have the influence to keep that a secret from other people. It's a no-brainer to do that. It's essentially a cult.
Why though?
Yeah. Let's get into this. It's a no-brainer.
Why though? Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. I mean, why on earth would you ever even need to sort of ask what the benefits of telling everyone that the Earth is smaller than it is? It's like, fuck off.
It makes no sense. And why?
None at all.
Who are these day as well? First of all, who are these day? Apparently,
Today.
with most conspiracies, everyone thinks there's a world government, but then there isn't a world government. But when they want it to be, there is a world government. And this world government, apparently, is all about protecting the flat Earth, because that's what's important. That's what's important, Nathan.
Because what you don't know, Carl, is that on the other side of that ice wall around the flat Earth, right? On the other side of that shit is a world of candy floss, unicorns, and awesome rad quad bike rides. And we cannot have that falling into the wrong hands.
It's true. Oh my god, it's so fucking ridiculous, Nathan.
The thing is, I'm saying this shit. He's got no idea what's out there. To him, I could walk up to him and say, "Yeah, it's definitely unicorns and quad bike rides." He'd be like, "Fuck yes, now I know."
let's really think about it for a second. Let's try and put ourselves in that position. If that was the case, why?
Yeah.
What is on that land that they don't want anyone to have? I mean, let's just. I've heard. I understand what he's saying about wars are all about land and stuff.
Yeah.
But normally people want land to put people on them, and then they
Yeah.
make businesses and they make money. You can't do that if you're
If,
hiding the land.
if you've locked it behind the ice wall.
Do they think there's a whole nother like semblance of people? Is this where the elite live?
Yeah.
Are they beyond the ice wall? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, it's like that fucking that Matt Damon film where he got the power suit on him. Like I can't remember what it is, but like there's two different worlds. One of them where all the wonderful people live and it's a beautiful place, and then the other one where it's like, fuck you, everyone's gonna die.
I can't think what that is.
It was like a space station and shit. It was okay.
I like a lot of Matt Damon films, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more sense than this.
Yeah, it makes a sight more sense. I mean,
Fucking downsizing makes more sense than this.
yeah, the thing that the thing that makes absolutely no sense to me at all is when there's other than the whole thing is when there's absolute fucking proof, like when you can actually see a camera of the curvature of the Earth, and they're like, it's fake. It's fake, bro. It's got to be fake.
Which camera are you on about? Are you on about like a photo of the Earth when you can see the?
Oh
Earth?
yeah, the photos of the Earth. Those are supposedly fake. I've seen people say that the Felix Baumgartner footage was all fake. I've seen people say that the fucking SpaceX is fake. The Tesla they launched around Mars is fake. It's just
because naturally all these companies would be doing that for reasons. But
they'd be spending millions and billions on nothing. Yeah.
Let's just break it down though. First, the photos. They're saying they're fake normally from what I've seen because they're composite photos.
Yeah.
Of loads of photos put together. Almost as if it's really hard to take a giant photo of Earth from so close. No, it can't be that. It can't be that.
No. The amazing thing about that is that they don't understand how basic photography works. It's like, dude, you don't understand, okay? This is a process that has to happen. You have to get all of these levels of detail because you're using this tiny little camera from big distances away, and you've got to use all the exposure you can. So it takes us
loads of photos in general are composites. When you made those panoramic video, the panoramic
that's a composite. Yeah, that's a composite.
Most cameras have like 4 cameras on there, and to take one photo, so surely there has to be some type of composite.
There's that weird TikTok thing. Yeah, there's that weird TikTok thing people are doing now where it sort of slides across the screen gradually, and you can put yourself on one side of it and one side of the other. Oh, that's a composite.
You know what it is that we're forgetting, is because scientists, because these people on YouTube don't know science, that it must be fake. It's not like it's a thing that anyone can go into, that anyone can learn, that anyone can get to the point of being, maybe not smart as scientists, but you can all get to the point of understanding science. But no, it's
not like there's Googleable evidence of this at all. Like, for example, my personal favorite one, I don't know if you've got this in here, but a man joined the Navy in America to prove that the flat Earth was real.
Right.
Because he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go there and I'm going to plot the coordinates as we go along, and I'll prove it. You know what happened? After about 3 weeks of after his 3 weeks of his 3-year service, he's like, oh yeah, no, if this was flat, we wouldn't have ended up where we were supposed to, and none of these coordinates would make sense. Yeah, it's a sphere.
I mean, at least he was willing to understand and let that sink in, rather than trying to come up with the idea that maybe the forces were pushing them to the side or something, or the government.
But
okay, there's more.
Yeah, true. Sorry, but true. No, but at the same time, he has now just made himself a Navy officer for 3 years, and he can't. Get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just showed he had commitment. I mean, to be honest, considering what he's planning to do for the reasons, I think going into the army is probably a good thing for him. He needs to understand how to be a person.
He needs to learn
to do that, but it's better than what he was doing.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, this is probably the best way that story could have ended.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ,
Yeah.
man.
Let's keep let's
let's go
keep
back
listening
to
to this guy.
Mr. Man. I swear there was more that I was going to insult him about, but I'm sure we'll come back to it. Let's carry on.
It's a cult of people who are hiding the secrets of the world from the rest of the people so that the people can live continuing their everyday slog through their 9-to-5 lives and not consider the possibility of more.
Because obviously. Because obviously. Okay.
Again, like he's got no fucking reasoning. Where's the reasoning, man?
This is what I never liked this. It's always what it comes down to. It's just like you said, like we said a few times, like we always fucking say, just people coming up with these assumptions and then just it's that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like what's the bonus? What's the benefit of a government to do this? It's just like, oh no, but they all continue doing their same 9-to-5 lives. And why is that so good for the government?
Yeah, it makes no sense. What? So we're going to be doing this thing. So we're going to have most of the people doing something different. So anything they do isn't even. I don't understand. Let's go to his next.
It's not.
Point.
Yeah. Oh, just
fuck this guy. Let's hear him out, Nath. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, let's hear him out.
Next. Okay. What about flat Mars? Are all planets flat stars, or is only the Earth flat? The misconception here is that we still exist in this solar system with all these other spheres, so you're still putting geocentrism into your model. I don't believe anyone's ever been to space. I don't even think space in the way that we see it exists. I don't think.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let's go back for a second. I want to hear him explain this a bit more. I want to hear. Let's give him a chance.
I think you can just go into a vacuum somewhere. I don't think that whole thing has been completely fabricated. You can't go to land on Mars. You can't land on the moon. These are not spherical rocks just sitting in a vacuum. They are the lights in the sky as stars are. Maybe the product of sonoluminescence. Maybe something else, but certainly not terra firma that you can go land on. So is Mars flat? Well, it's not a physical object as far as we can determine.
What is it?
I love that at the end. As far as we can determine, you
can't determine your ass from your elbow, for fuck's sake.
As far as we can determine, yes, because we, as a species, haven't just sent something to Mars to land on it a few times, but we cannot prove that.
That rover landing was fucking awesome.
I haven't seen a lot of it, in all fairness, but just the concept of it and the few pictures I did see is just amazing. The concept of it.
It's pretty fucking cool. Just like I love I love the fucking the certainty this guy has in his uncertainty. That's what's so amazing. It's like this guy freely going, I have no idea what's on the other side of this. I have no idea what space is. I have no idea what stars are. I have no idea what Mars is, but Earth is flat and I know it. What are you?
I did hear.
Yeah, sorry.
No. It just came to me now. I just remembered from something I watched earlier. I can't remember it exactly, but there was some brief history as to why flat Earth became a thing, because it was somewhere in the middle of last century. It started in London. There was some guy that would go around. He wasn't a smart guy. He dropped out of school like when he was 9 or something back then, which probably makes sense back then. Yeah. But he was a really good public speaker. He was a bullshit artist. He was like an original comedian. He was the original meta comedian. There you go.
He was a Joseph Smith.
He was a Joseph fucking Smith. And basically he just riddled this along. He would do debates with people, with scientists that weren't used to dealing with bullshit. Like we're trying to do. How do you explain away these books? It's so hard because it's so dumb.
Because the thing is, as well, you can go to someone with all of the facts and information to prove it's wrong, and they'll just go, "Oh, you're a shill." What? What? Yeah. Oh my god.
This is Nate.
Yeah. And the worst bit is as well, these people go like, oh, well, these scientists, they're all getting payoffs and kickbacks. Where's the proof of that? Yeah, every scientist I have ever known has been scraping by on a mediocre fucking wage, while businessmen out there are scraping in fucking billions. Who the fuck?
Because like a lot of like the stuff they come up with, a lot of those people are more concerned with finding out more stuff rather than making money from it. So it's like a lot of it goes into public sector, a lot of it
Yeah.
help build academic and all that, which is amazing. I forgot my original point there. I'm just annoyed.
No, I know. It's this thing of like, you've got these people who are genuine experts in their field, but they're not allowed to be experts anymore because experts don't exist. And instead, we've got these fucking morons who just go, oh yeah, but I reckon, or I don't know, but I read, or I heard from a friend. I don't give a shit what your friend said. I care what Neil deGrasse fucking Tyson says about astronomy.
Yeah. Neil deGrasse, that is a person I listen to when it comes to all the sciencey shit, man.
Yeah, yes. Neil deGrasse Tyson, fucking Lawrence Krauss, Dr. Michio Kaku. There are so many goddamn legitimate experts who have been studying this shit for fucking decades, who are genuine geniuses, and these people just go, no, I don't like it.
And this is like the most basic of basic. Like, this is something that in school I've never questioned it, because like you said, you can see it. You can you're on a plane, you can see the curvature of the earth.
Yeah.
My God. It's so hard.
And also, like, again, how the fuck, what the fuck? You can look at Mars through a fucking telescope.
That's what you were saying, yeah.
You can look at Mars through a fucking telescope. You can literally go, there it fucking is, and track it as it goes round. If you wanted to, you could track it all the way fucking round as it went until it went past the fucking sun and you couldn't see it anymore. You could watch every fucking aspect, every single part of Mars. You could watch as it rotated round to prove it was a fucking sphere. But did these guys have the fucking bollocks to do any of that experimentation? Fuck, do they? No, they just listen to some again. They listen to some dumbass on the
internet. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Man, but the thing you're forgetting about all of that, Naif, the thing you're forgetting is that all of that up there is fake. It's a projection.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a giant screen. You're just looking at it. It's just, they put it there to make you think that it's there.
Yeah.
I think is what he's saying.
Yeah, basically. I think so. Because, like, what else is it? Is it just pockets of gas that just float in the sky? How the fuck does that work? Why doesn't gravity bring them down again?
So, should we hear his next? I
think we probably should.
We need to, really.
I think we probably should.
If the Earth is flat, how can planes fly from, say, America to Asia in either direction? They're basically talking about circumnavigation. Circumnavigation is entirely possible, both on the globe model and the flat model. The best way
He's talking about specifically just going east and west, isn't he?
Yeah, but even then, no, it's not.
Go on, explain this before we let him carry on.
Let's just assume this thing is a fucking disc, all right?
Let's just assume, for the sake of argument. Yeah.
Let's assume it's a disc or a flat plane. Either way is fine. That goes on forever and ever, apparently.
And north is the middle, and south is the whole edge.
Yeah, let's say you're going from New York to London. There's London. There's New York, okay? If you're going from London to New York, you've got to go that way, don't you? Now, if you're on a globe, you can go all the way round and get there again. You see? All the way round. All the way round.
Yeah.
However, if it's a flat plane and you're trying to go there, but instead you go, nah, I'm going to go the other way. Let's do a little thought experiment here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, shit, it's going further away.
I never even thought. I tried to understand what he was saying before when I said that, and I thought I kind of understood what he meant. I thought, like, you'd be in the middle and you'd go and you would just naturally follow the circle of the earth, but you wouldn't if it was flat. You would just go straight.
You just go straight because it is a flat plane.
That literally makes zero sense what he's saying.
It absolutely none at all. It literally cannot work.
Okay, I'm more interested in it now. I want to hear how much he believes this and how he. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, back
Let's
to
see how he explains this
America
shit
to
away.
Asia in either direction.
Okay.
They're basically talking about circumnavigation. Circumnavigation is entirely possible both on the globe model and the flat model. The best way to look at this, I guess, is to look at it from the AE perspective. If you consider the Earth like the North Pole at the top of the globe is now in the center, and the continents are sprawled out, so you've basically taken the globe, you've flattened it and taken the south and the south, so Antarctica, and put it around the sides of the plane. If the North Pole is here and I'm here on a globe, right? Then
Okay,
I
I got
can
his
fly
idea now.
this way and get.
I got his idea now. It's still dumb as fuck, but I've got his idea now. Because what he's saying is he's saying
The great
that
place
there's
to
the-
pause it as well.
yeah, there's the dot there in the center, and now let's actually do it circular. So there's the dot there in the center. This is our flat Earth going all the way
Okay, the
around
disc
it.
going all around your finger.
Yeah, and now around the outside of the disc, all of that is south magnet.
Yeah.
Right, the south magnetic pole, right? So if you are in that central bit and you're sort of going up, yeah, okay, and then you're sort of west, you circle round it. The only issue with that,
I think
And
you're going
I
the same route I'm going with in my head.
yeah, I don't know if he's ever figured this shit out, but when you turn, you tend to feel it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, in his head, he's thinking he's going to be going along, but turning without thinking about it.
Yeah. So you
Surely
just,
that's the only way
I'll
that
just
works.
set it up to go straight, and yet for some reason it will just casually turn with the fucking planet. No, you're
For
just going to go
reasons.
straight off the fucking edge, surely.
Yeah, there's no way that works. Yeah,
No,
this is the
no
first part.
physical way.
For a second, when I watched this before, I kind of thought I understood what he meant, and then just
Yeah.
the simplest discussion between me and yourself. Yeah, no, that's not true.
But again, let's go back to that previous point I made with the guy who went to the Navy with the coordinates. That
Yeah.
doesn't work at all, and that's why it doesn't work, because that guy was using that model. I've figured it out now. Because if you drop that down and you flatten the globe out like that, now that, like, say that's your distance between fucking Greenland and the coast of America,
Yeah,
okay?
because it would only
Well,
be flat and
yeah.
static, so it's just
Exactly.
there,
So
there.
on
Yeah.
a sphere, it's like that. But now you've flattened it out. That distance is now even wider. You see what I mean? So, like, if it's curved around a thing like that,
yeah,
the distances between the two are the same. But if you flatten it out, that distance has to expand between the two.
Yeah, yeah,
See? Curved, fairly similar thing between. Open, it's like my entire fucking hand width.
yeah. But I mean,
This is like the most basic of basic shit. This is shit
I
that
think
you learn.
I think you explained it. I think you went too far with that explanation. To be honest, I think you were
Yeah.
giving him too much credit once again. I don't think he even thought
Yeah.
anywhere near that level about the amount of distance. I think he literally just forgot. If he was going around, he would have to turn.
Yeah,
It's just that simple.
he forgot he'd have to turn. He's got no idea what the difference is between a flat plane and a fucking sphere. Clearly,
Literally
'Cause-
would not work. Yeah, you cannot go left and right. Whether you, it just makes no
it
sense.
doesn't work. It just
No.
doesn't work on
Okay,
any way. Oh my god! Wow.
this is easier than I thought, to be honest. To disprove.
Yeah.
Get to Asia, or I can fly this way and get to Asia. Left or right, I'm west or east, I'm getting to Asia. Put it on a flat model, it's the same thing. If I go
No.
west this way and my North Pole is here, if I'm going west this way, I
Yes,
get to
but
Asia.
you
If I
still
go east
you
this
still
way,
have to
I'm
turn
gonna
to
get to
west.
Asia.
Like,
It's the
is
same
he
thing,
not
it's just
going to
how you
notice
look
at
at it.
any point
Pole is
that
here.
west is
If I'm going
changing
west this way,
direction as
he's
he's
doing it
going
I
in
get
a
to Asia.
straight
If I go
line?
east this way, I'm gonna get to Asia.
See,
It's the same thing, it's just how this way, and my North Pole is here. If I'm going west this
He's
way,
curling it, yeah.
I get to Asia. If I go east this
He's
way,
curling it.
I'm gonna get to Asia. It's the same thing, it's just how you look at it.
Let's assume like you're going to literally go
God.
straight in one direction west, and you're not going to deviate from going straight.
Yep.
Eventually, in his model, it's going to become like fucking north, south, southwest.
west
It's
is
going to go
always
from west to south to southwest to southwest to pure fucking south, and then you're going to be over the fucking ice.
just,
What is this guy
it can't
talking about?
work. It just
It
can't
cannot
work.
work. It doesn't work.
Okay, let's give him another chance.
wow.
It's amazing, isn't it? The stupidity of these people.
It's amazing.
Flat Earthers already disproved themselves with the laser tests in that documentary like a year ago. So why is anyone still debating this?
Okay, now, before we get on to this, he starts talking about it being in a Netflix documentary, Behind the Curve. I'm pretty sure I saw it on a Discovery documentary, like the Discovery Channel, or National Geographic, one of them. And I saw this. I can't find the video, though. It's an old one, like 5 years ago, probably 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I think it was more like 5 because I remember it popping up at one point when I was.
I
might have been 7 or 6.
Yeah, so I assume there's always a few more years on there.
Yeah.
They took someone like just basically what I'm sure he's talking about. They put a laser like on a beach somewhere or something, pointed it out in a straight direction with the bubble spirit level and all that. I'm guessing they would get the exact amount.
It's
took him out
perfectly flat.
It would have to be at the same point on the boat, no matter how far away it was, and it deviated as much as it should do. And the guy even admitted, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But
because there's no other fucking solution.
I'm pretty sure that was what this person was commenting about, but this guy apparently took it a completely wrong way. And I love how he refers to what he thinks the Netflix documentary. Let's just.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you mean Behind the Curve, the Netflix. Okay. I'm assuming you mean Behind the Curve, the Netflix documentary. The whole thing was a hit piece in order to make Flat Earth look ridiculous, and
you don't need a hit piece to do that. Exactly.
Yep. Okay. We don't need to say more on that.
People involved. I know that there was a laser test that was inconclusive. Just because something is inconclusive, a test is inconclusive, it's not proof either way. It's inconclusive. So
it's not inconclusive because you can repeat that test anytime, anywhere, and it will give you exactly the same result, which is the definition of the scientific experiment.
I love though his logic of, hey, there's this test that's been done that was proven to go against what you said. It's provable. Oh no, that's wrong. What you're thinking of, that test wasn't provable. It was debatable. It wasn't from the documentary.
It was debatable.
And that was only created as a hit piece because it
was inconclusive. It matches all of the other evidence that we've got, but it's inconclusive. Fuck.
What was it he said at the end of it? Something he said at the end of it, then I wanted to specifically
I know that there was a laser test that was inconclusive. Just because something is inconclusive.
Yeah, that was it. He was saying it's inconclusive. Straight away said, no, that's wrong. It's inconclusive. And then he jumped straight onto why something that's inconclusive isn't a fact. Ignoring the question, ignoring the actual logic and everything behind it, instantly said, no, it was inconclusive, and this is why inconclusive isn't fact. That's not what. That's
not what we're doing. That's not what we're arguing here. Yeah, this is about whether you're correct or not, which you're clearly not.
And your assumption of his question. That's
inclusive. A test is inconclusive.
Getting angry, Nathan.
It's not proof either way. It's inconclusive. So
I'm not happy.
What kind of evidence would convince a flat earther? They keep asking for it, but deny it every time if it proves them wrong. I don't think
it's literally like he did in that question just before. Just be
that's
like
true.
He did in that
but I've seen no evidence to say, okay, the curvature exists. I would love to be shut up. I would love for any agency to allow an independent investigation of those lands, and then say the whole thing. It turned out, it was complete a lie. Flat Earth is a lie. They're all just crazy people. I'd love.
Okay, so he wants an independent test.
Yeah, he wants an independent test.
So,
and
by independent test, just to clarify, he would mean non-government based, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and they've already tried to do this. They got a load of people together with a load of money to go to the Arctic to prove that it was an ice wall. And you know what they found?
It wasn't
an ice wall? It wasn't an ice wall. Yeah.
Let's just ignore that. Ignore a specific flat Earth expedition. But let's think about, has there ever been a non-governmental thing that, say, recently would have gone to, I don't know, somewhere outside the atmosphere, getting ready to go to Mars, which kind of is
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. We should ask Elon Musk about that.
Maybe. I mean, he might know something.
There's a chance, you know, that maybe some stuff's been going on where non-governmental bodies have been going into space, and it could easily prove exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll take the evidence. He wants to be proved wrong.
Oh yeah, he's so eager to have his theory disproven. Clearly.
Just to clarify with this guy as well, there are a lot of people that say this kind of stuff. I've had a lot of videos. He was just the one that was the best spoken, most well-spoken person, advocate that I could find.
He's the best one.
He's the best one. So this is not just an attack on him. This is an attack on the whole thing. And this is their best, from what I could find, this is their best advocate.
Great.
Yeah. Let's
Jesus
more
Christ.
from Mr. Non-Legic Dress.
Love to see that proof,
Oh,
because it could go either way. But, you know, I don't think it's going to happen, because I think they're hiding something there. I think it's clear as day that they're hiding something.
It's clear as fucking day, Nathan.
And it's clear as day they're hiding something there. So we've gone from I don't know what's outside the ice wall to it's a big conspiracy to we don't know what they're hiding out there.
And then too, it's as clear as day they are though.
Yeah.
We have no idea. We don't know, but it's obvious they are.
Yeah, we've got no proof at all, but we've got proof. What are you fucking on?
We should like straight up start like a YouTube channel just to see what's the most ridiculous conspiracy we could try and get going.
And get people to actually believe. Yeah.
I don't know what's stupider than this. I really don't. I don't know what's stupider.
I did actually come up with one of the stupidest things I've ever thought of recently, and I'd like to see if I could get it to.
Stupider.
Okay. And I want to see if we can get this to trend anywhere and get people to think it's a smart idea, right? I pretend to be a guru, and I say that I found the secret to eternal life, and the secret to eternal life is to not have kids, because if we don't have kids, right? If we don't have kids, then our life force won't be absorbed by our kids. But because it's been going on for so long throughout generations of humanity, there's a sort of knock-on effect. So it may take a few generations of not having kids for it to take effect, but we're going to try.
You know what though? I don't think that's stupider. I don't think that's stupider.
Exactly. Even though you literally cannot have generations of kids to have that thing if you're not having kids. You see?
I didn't even think about that part. Okay.
Exactly. And that's why I think we can get really stupid people to believe this, Carl.
But that takes an amount of time to be disproven. That's not stupider, because this can be flat Earth can be disproven in an instant.
Yeah.
It's not stupider than flat Earth. It's just not.
It's not stupider. Yeah.
That makes more sense than flat Earth, Nathan.
Yeah, and you can find a way to logically disprove it eventually. Unlike flat Earth, where they just go, "No, you can't disprove it, so it's true." It's the tea kettle thing. It's the same thing that people used to use in atheist fucking debates against Christians back when I used to watch them during the day, and it's just like, okay, it's the tea kettle principle, right? So you cannot prove that there isn't a tea kettle orbiting the sun that has been there since the sun first was made, can you?
Right now, no. I guess.
Well, there's no way you possibly could, because you couldn't get a telescope quick enough. The vast area of space. There's no way you'd be able to find a tea kettle in the vastness of space. So you can't disprove it. So therefore, it's there.
It's extremely unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's there because you can't disprove it, so therefore it's there.
It's a concept of not.
This is the same logic.
Negative, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't disprove it; it has to exist. No, unicorns are not found anywhere, so therefore I'm gonna guess they're not real.
In that semblance, you could never. Oh, I'm trying to remember now, because there's some whole this thing about like how like in trials and like criminal cases and that you can't prove a negative, in a sense. You can't prove someone didn't do something. Hence why the best thing you can do is prove reasonable doubt, because it's very hard to specifically prove someone definitely 100% didn't do something.
Do something, yeah. Yeah.
because
You can prove. That's why, again, it's like innocent until proven guilty, because you've
Yeah.
got to prove someone's guilty, because otherwise the assumption that they are would, you know.
yeah, so it's like that. It's like it's very hard to. But you can disprove this though. We're giving it
You
too
can.
much semblance again, Nathan.
You can.
You
You
can
can.
disprove
Here's the
this
thing.
completely.
No, but this is the
Not
problem.
hard.
Like, you can disprove it. You can easily disprove it, but all of these people will just refuse, outright
Confirmation bias.
refuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's beyond confirmation bias almost, because like confirmation bias is sort of, you know, okay, well, I like to interpret this data in this particular way. This is just outright ignorance of data. They haven't even looked at the data. All they've done is had some stupid twat on fucking Facebook or YouTube go, this is how it works. And they've got no idea. No idea that all they need to do is get a calculator out and do some maths that they could have learned when they were 6 years
'cause
old,
they're
and they
purposely
figure this shit
ignoring
out.
it.
Yeah, yeah, it's willful ignorance. It is willful
It
ignorance.
is. That's
to
a
make them-
really good way
yeah.
to put it. Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
Because
yeah.
they think that they're smarter than everyone else because of it. They think that they're in this interesting, glorious club that not everyone's part of, because not everyone is as elite and smart as these guys are, because they don't do their own thinking, and I've done my own research. It's like, mate, no, you haven't.
Yeah, you're just coming up with an idea, but that's literally it. You come up with an idea, and there's nothing you can put behind it. I mean, ignore the fact that it's a totally. Let's ignore the fact.
Yeah.
It's utter stupidity. Let's ignore that for a
Okay.
second. If you're coming up with an idea and then just assuming it's real without doing anything, you're just assuming. I mean,
You're fucked.
I don't
Yeah,
really
you've
need
got. What
anything
can we
else.
do? Yeah, what can we
Yeah.
do in that scenario? If people start just
What can
suddenly
we-
deciding,
what can
I
we
don't
do?
need.
What the
No, but
hell
that's-
is wrong
what-
with them?
Yeah, but what? My point is, what can we do in that scenario? What can you answer any of that with? If anyone's just allowed to make up their own version of reality,
Facts.
and now,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Again,
love,
this is
I love
the
that
QAnon
phrase.
stuff, the Trump stuff, the fucking all of this weirdness. It all comes back to these kinds of people.
It's I can't remember who came up. I can't remember who's you know what, I want to check because I feel like it's someone really known, like Einstein or something, but there's that phrase that everyone is entitled to an opinion but not about facts. Like everyone's entitled to their own opinions but not about an opinion about,
but not you're entitled to your own facts.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't be asked
Yeah.
to look for it in all honesty, actually.
Yeah.
But I know that's the saying and I like that saying.
Yeah, it's a fucking good one. And there's the other one as well, which is keep an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out. For fuck's sake, like,
I love
you know
that one.
what I
That's
mean?
great.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
you know what? I think the Einstein saying that I might be thinking of is what he said about how there were two things that are infinite in the world, in the universe. No, two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity.
And stupidity, yeah.
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 Hell yeah.
Yeah, there is no end to how stupid people are willing to be.
And let's prove that
Yeah.
again. I think there's only a couple more points now. That's
okay. Let's rock it. Let's rock
let
it.
him
Let's
make
say
his full
scientists accept that the Earth is flat. And what will flat earthers do next? Like, what are their plans? What do they want? I just can't understand this. This guy's comment makes it sound like we're keeping him hostage or something. Scientists accepting that the
with your
Earth is flat,
stupidity.
mainstream science,
Your
it'll never
stupidity
happen.
is keeping
Say that
us
it
all
did,
blind.
right? Well,
Yes, I
then
agree.
it's not about what flat earthers do next. It's about what the world does next. By saying that actually, yeah, the Earth is flat, then what is NASA? What is JAXA? What is the Antarctic Treaty? What have we been doing in schools?
So basically,
What have we been doing in schools?
So he's just flipping that completely again, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
it's
to be-
basically, but don't you understand? All you people are just bought in by the machine, dude. You got no idea, man. It's just,
I think he's missed the point of that question, or maybe the question wasn't worded very well. But to me, that question
Yeah.
more was saying to what end, just in
to what
general.
end?
Yeah.
What's the plan after this? What is out there? What do you intend to do with it? Yeah.
Why? Maybe reasons, help.
Yeah.
What has
Do
been
we
going
all-
on?
do we-
Why has this
Hold on.
been?
Say that again, sorry.
Do we all march on the wall? Is
this
that
game-
what we do?
Is this just people read Game of Thrones before he got
I
popular?
think it is.
Is that all it is?
I think it basically is. There are people out there who have conflated Game of Thrones with reality. They think there's what is it, White Walkers out
The
there
White
or whatever
Walkers
it
beyond
is.
the wall.
Yeah.
That's what they're hiding. That's what they're hiding,
God
definitely.
damn. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Let's let him finish this ridiculous.
Fed to us. Why is this lie and this narrative being fed to us? So that wouldn't just be flat earthers asking that. That
Yeah,
would be
why?
the world asking that. And then the implications of that are widespread.
Okay, we don't really need to.
Why though? Again, it's like why? You've just asked the perfect question, dude. Why? Give us any reason, any beneficial reason that you can actually think of that can't be disproven very easily why this would ever be a good idea for a government to do. And not just one government, all of the governments.
All of them. And let's get-
Including North Korea, the one government who absolutely fucking loathes everyone else, isn't coming out there going, by the way, why aren't you telling everyone about the secret fucking ice bases and shit?
And what's
Fucking-
right on the edge, I think, I swear they said, I don't know if it was this, it was something, it said New Zealand is right by the edge. Why are they keeping this secret? Why did they? Yeah, I
Yeah.
swear I heard New Zealand was right by the edge, apparently.
Oh, fuck me. Apparently, I mean, it goes further than this as well. You know that there are people who genuinely think Australia is not a real place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of this shit.
I don't. How? Why? Is that actually
They're
connected
like-
to Flat Earth?
Yeah, it's connected to Flat Earth because they're like, oh no, you don't understand. Like, it's not really there. It's just a made-up continent because it's designed to make people think that there is another side of the world when in fact there isn't. Because in fact, I know, mate. Again, this is the problem. This is the problem. You've got so many of these different fucking ideas within this thing, and they all call themselves flat earthers, but they're not. They're all these weird, different versions. Like some of them believe we're in a fucking colander from
Which is
space.
very-
Some of them believe it's an infinite plane.
This is
Some of
a
them believe
point that you
space
can-
exists, but it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
That general psychology of what you're saying is something you can put onto a lot of things because so many things, they all think they're one thing because of the name or whatever. But then when you actually get down to it and talk to the people, they have so many different beliefs. Like, I'm trying to think of a reactive one, but the one that keeps coming to my mind is the whole BLM stuff because there's been a lot of reports about how different sectors of them want different things from like the riot. Certain ones wanted different things.
really good video on that is the All Gas No Brakes episode where he goes to a Black Lives Matter protest and like he's just got all of these woke white guys and girls going like, yeah, you don't understand, man. It's basically we're trying to bring down the government because like there's systematic oppression and like we don't want that anymore and that means we're gonna bring it all down. And then like it moves over like to another guy and it's same shit, you know. Oh, we need to bring ourselves the government down and we need to build up again from scratch. It's all these fucking guys talking the same shit. They get to the very end of the video to punctuate it. They talk to like the 3 or 4 black people they could actually find and they're like, this is about police oppression and murder of innocent civilians by police hands.
Yeah.
And all of these people are fucking it up. And like, yes.
And a lot of those people that as well are arguing that also acknowledge that not all police are just ignorantly terrible.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
But it gets
Yeah,
put into
it's
a
like-
whole scope, and then all of a sudden, the people that take
Yeah.
it too far have an idea of what it means. The people that are actually smart and understand what's going on in the world have
Yeah.
this one idea. There's the people
It's
over
this
there
thing.
that think some next random shit.
Yeah. There's no grey area to people anymore. There's no midpoint between this shit. It's all or nothing. And again, that's what the problem with this fucking flat earth shit is. It's all or nothing. You know, they can't just have a conspiracy about this. It's
And
got to
everyone-
be global.
and everyone feels the need to have to understand everything in their own way. And if they aren't able to understand it in the normal way, they'll understand it in some next way. There's always this concept of everyone wants to understand everything around them.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really understand most things until you understand the fact that you're not smart, or I don't want to say not smart, but realistically, most people need to understand the concept that it is impossible to know everything.
Yes.
The smartest guy in the world right now, like Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, it's impossible even for him to know everything, because everything he knows right now in 100 years could be completely different just because we now understand more.
Yeah.
You can never understand everything.
He hasn't focused on it. Like he doesn't know the ins and outs of how the stock market works. It's it's not his bag, you know? But there's someone else out there who's really smart with that shit, and they know exactly how to make shit tons of money off of a fucking a fire sale or whatever the fuck it is. You know,
you may be able to understand a lot of stuff but it doesn't mean you can't understand everything. A lot of stuff doesn't have meaning. A lot of stuff that I think it comes from life in general. People always feel like they have to try and put some meaning onto things as to why something happened, when a lot of the time, no. And that also means you need to find an understanding as well. So saying it's kind of linked, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the thing. If someone can't, well, it's not even can't. I don't think if someone isn't willing to put in the effort to grasp scientific understanding, then they will just sort of, as you say, like latch on to anything they can find that will fill the gap.
Because fair enough, if you don't want to
filled it. Yeah,
I mean, fair enough if you don't want to like fully read into it, or you're not. It's a bit like you can't quite grasp certain parts of it, whatever. Like, but then to just assume that okay, I don't understand this part, or I don't agree with this part, so this whole next thing must be true. This whole crazy shit over here must be true.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like it's all about scientific consensus.
Yeah.
And that's what really annoys me. It's like there's so many people who don't understand how scientific consensus works. It's like, oh yes, well, you know, and it's like climate change is a genuine thing that's happening. It's fucking up the planet and we are basically responsible for it. But then you go to a load of people and they go like, oh no, because there's these guys over here. This scientist said it's not actually that, it's this other thing. It's like, okay, but what's the percentage? Okay, the percentage of scientists who say it's not global warming based is about 2%.
Yeah, I mean,
the rest of the 98% are telling you there's a problem. If I were you, I'd listen to them.
It makes a lot more sense to listen to the scientists in general. Funny enough, listen to the people that know about it.
Yeah, and listen to the consensus. If there's a shitload of experts all saying one thing and then there's one dissenting asshole, this isn't a movie. It's not like the one dissenting asshole is always the guy who's right. He's not fucking Chris Hemsworth. He's just Barry from accounting. No one gives a shit.
And it like, even like with climate control, climate change and that, for example, I don't know how. I was just going to say like with that, for example, as well. I'll just get into that for a second. Like, I think a lot of stuff gets warped as well. Like, in the sense that like, a lot of people think like the example you always hear from people is they say like, oh well, no, it's a natural thing that happens in the world, because it does. That is true. Yeah, I think that is true. We have ice age. There is a degree of that. It's a thing, but when it's obvious from the facts and what you can see, and it's obvious we're not helping the situation, we're making it a lot worse.
Yeah, we're accelerating it there. And not only that, but again, climate change isn't just heat related. Everyone always thinks about the heat stuff. It's also the fact that we've been pumping enough chemicals into the ocean to bleach the fucking coral reefs. It's also that there's...
the Great Barrier Reef is like not gone, but it's bleached now, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a pile of plastic in the middle of the ocean the size of Texas.
Yeah, I heard that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And like, people aren't even, they're like, yeah, no, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, it fucking is. Yeah, it fucking is.
Give it another couple of hundred years when it's the size of America as well.
But oh no, Carl, don't you worry about that. Because the most important thing to think about right now is flat Earth.
It's because it just is. It just is.
Yeah. Because it just is.
Eventually, that island of plastic will float off the edge
Yeah.
or get stuck into the ice. So who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like you've got to sort of just. I don't know. I don't know even how to fix it anymore.
Should we? I think there's one last point that's left on this. Should we let him have his last say? I can't remember what it is. I remember thinking it got stupider and stupider, but I can't remember what it is. So,
am I too stupid to understand the flat earther, or too smart to understand the flat earther?
Yeah,
probably neither.
I mean, that's just a great question.
Yep, that's pretty much exactly. And whenever you're listening to any conspiracy theory, ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
Do I have to be too stupid or too smart to get my hands on this shit? You know what I'm saying?
And
Fuck.
My God. And yeah, let's just carry on.
You just have to be willing to let go, or to kind of put to one side your preconceived notions of what you think flat earth to be, whether you agree with it or not after you
So he's telling someone right now, you have to put away your preconceived notions of what, etc., or whatever is. He's telling someone that. Let's just clarify that. He is telling someone else not to just assume things. Let's go back.
No, don't you dare assume. Don't. If you do, you make an ass out of you and me. And
You do. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. 8 simple rules taught me that, and they were right.
Yeah. It's a good show.
Okay, it was a great show. Even when they brought David, even when the main guy died, they then.
My thing. I've lost my thing.
I can tell you,
It's
you
back.
sound
Okay.
different. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when the main guy disappeared, they then made a grave of bringing in the granddad and David Spade. I didn't even know who David Spade was then, but I loved him from that.
Yeah, neither did I. I was like, oh shit, okay, I quite like this dude. And then I watched Joe Dirt, and that fucking film is good. I don't care what anyone says.
Joe Dirt is entertaining. I think David Spade's been in a few things, hasn't he? Like since he was in like, yeah. But it's weirder now because like my favorite. By far, my favorite comedian is Norm Macdonald, and then I now like learn like that they're like best friends and all that, and watch all these interviews with them. It's so weird.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald's a fucking hero.
He's amazing. I fucking love Norm. Oh, everything I want to be in life. Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Or too smart to understand the flat earther.
Stupid points.
Yeah, probably neither. You just have to be willing to let go, or to kind of put to one side your preconceived notions of what you think flat earth to be, whether you agree with it or not after you understand it. That's up to you, but at least you'll be able to understand why people think the way that they do.
Now, as I say, this is something I pride myself in doing. I like to really put myself in the position of people and really try and think openly of things and really try and see things from more people's point of view. Yeah. Which is why I think we do that a lot in this.
Yeah.
No. Just no.
And the thing is, he's made the assumption there as well. Like, oh, if you don't understand it, it's like, no, we understand it. We understand it. We clearly understand it better than you do because we understand it doesn't work.
We're really trying to understand his points as well. We're really trying.
Yeah, we really are. We've given it all the thoughts. We've given it as many different options as we possibly could. It doesn't work. You can't just keep going west because eventually you're going to have to turn. You will notice that turn. And even if you don't, if you just keep going, your compass is going to start to move because it will say west to begin with. And west to begin with, and it'll gradually start going southwest. Southwest. South
can't exist really because either way you'd be going west and going east.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In some weird.
Yeah, there's no magnet there. There's
just no semblance to sense at all.
No. Yeah, and it's also not how magnets work. It's also just not how magnets work. Magnets do not have a central point in the middle that is one positive, that is positive, and the outer rim is negative. That's not how they work. They are polarized bits of metal. One end of it is positive. One end of it is negative. That is the Earth. You've got negative and positive and negative. That is a magnet.
That's how it works, isn't it? Is that the idea that the whole world is a magnet essentially, and that's why we can get the.
That's why we've got an electromagnetic field, and the reason why that is being made is because we've got a core of molten iron in the middle of our planet,
And
spinning like a bastard, like a dynamo, producing huge amounts of electromagnetic energy.
And that electromagnetic energy is what essentially we use to pinpoint north, east, south, and west and that.
Exactly, because it's a giant magnet, and that's why if you take a magnet close to a compass, it'll go north or south depending on which point you're putting it towards. It'll drag the thing towards it.
So technically, then as well, in the same way, east and west don't really exist; only north and south do. But it's just clockwise or an anti-clockwise, essentially.
Yeah, you're more orientating yourself off of the two actually existing points.
That's why you only ever hear of true north and true south.
Yeah, but again, this is why it doesn't work in his scenario. You cannot have that positive point in the middle and an outside rim of negative. It doesn't fucking work. And even in that scenario, if you've got west and east, it's just...
What you just taught me then, no, just what you taught me then, because I didn't understand that particular part. Even that just points out even more how it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. And again, like, you can look at Mars go round. You can look at Saturn go round. You can see every single part of these planets. And it's not like it's a random gas thing somewhere out there. It rotates, and it will rotate again, and you'll see exactly the same things. We can identify where Olympus Mons is on Mars from a fucking satellite like that. It's a huge fucking volcano, the biggest one in the entire solar system. It is obvious as fuck.
I didn't even know about that. I was just comprehending that in my mind then. I mean, at the same time with what you're saying as well, like, you know, you can also comprehend, like, you know, from those telescopes and that Mars is a rock, for example. You also know that like Jupiter, isn't it? It's like a giant gas cloud, but even
Jupiter's
that's got,
a giant gas cloud,
middle, hasn't it?
Yeah, in the center. It's not actually solid though, which is something I didn't know very recently. I assumed it had a solid core, but it doesn't. It is literally just gas that is so dense.
Yeah.
That it just becomes solid, you know?
Solid. It's like a super mega cloud, I suppose, is a good way to look at it.
Yeah, like the densest smoke you've ever had.
I've been pretty dense, my man. I think I was wrong. I think there's one more point, so let's hear it.
Let's have a go.
This is the difference between getting your knowledge from studying and getting it from YouTube videos. You know what's funny? Do you ever remember being in science class and your whole science class was someone wheeling out?
Okay, yeah. So his original thing was, what was that again? There's a difference between getting your knowledge from studying and getting it from YouTube videos.
From YouTube videos, yeah.
So most people in that situation would maybe say, no, I've got, like, I understood some stuff, or like I had some understanding in school or something. I didn't get it from YouTube videos, or I found my own. Listen to his answer.
Difference between getting your knowledge from studying and getting it from YouTube videos. You know what's funny? Do you ever remember being in science class and your whole science class was someone wheeling out a TV and putting a Bill Nye video in, and you just watched Bill Nye for that whole class?
No. You had a shitty teacher, dude. I think we found out what the problem is.
I think we know now.
Did you, by any chance?
System.
Yeah. Did you ever, by any chance, end up in one of those situations where you were being taught science by a teacher who was like an English teacher or a religious education teacher, something like that? That's that guy's entire fucking science career.
I had a teacher in school that was a PE teacher. And then he went on to teaching science in my last couple of years, in like year 10 and 11. And I assumed, it's going to be terrible. Best science teacher ever had. He understood everything. Really? And rather than just reading out from a textbook, like some would do, because the textbook's fair enough.
Yeah,
and it's easy
to do. Yeah,
it does get into your head when they're reading something out to you and you're marking it down, and then you talk about it after. I get that side. But he was like the practical kind of teacher, because he was used to it from PE and that. And he understood this stuff. He has since been in the news for fucking one of his teachers in his since becoming a head teacher in another school, but that's not important. He was a good teacher.
Well, I think that's fine if you fuck another teacher.
It was
That's
another
okay.
teacher,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah, it was
students that you got to not fuck.
Yeah, he got caught by the student for something, fucking another teacher, and he was married. And all
Oh,
that
that's
thing.
just harmless. If
Yeah,
anything, that's
yeah.
going to make the kids respect him more.
Yeah. Like everyone that I knew after I told that story to them, they were like, "Yep, that makes sense on Mr. Oh, I should put that.
Okay, make a note. Make a note.
Make a note. Well, it was in the news, though. To be fair,
Yeah. I've got
Okay.
shit like that too. I've got interesting stories about that kind of shit.
What?
The head of my sixth form, well, the entire school while I was there, because the head of the sixth form actually lives next door. Lovely man. But the head of the actual school himself was an interesting lad. Now, at one point, I got pissed at school, right? And
In there, yeah. What?
yeah,
We're talking about
really,
secondary school.
really. Oh, sixth form. So I was 17, so not far off of being able to drink anyway. But I was
Yeah.
fucking hammered off my face, right? And I get caught. It all goes to fucking pot and shit. I end up fucking in trouble and stuff. The following year, because it was my first year in this.
Remind me afterwards to tell you about the first time I got high. And carry on. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah. So like the second year of sixth form, I'm going in, but I have to talk to the head teacher first. And I won't use his name because I think
because
his
you're
daughter
smarter
still
than me.
lives around here somewhere. Yeah, well, we'll bear that in mind. I might spell it out anyway. Yeah, so he's like the most boring man in the world, basically. His entire voice sounded like this. So it was like,
Okay.
"Oh, you're not going to drink again, are you, Nathan?" No, not.
Oh, this is the one that caught you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
and you're very sorry for everything you've done. Yes, and it's a very bad idea. You can't do that. Yes. I'm assuming this guy is the most boring bitch in the fucking world, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Turns out, a few years later, he elopes to Thailand with a student
Okay.
from the sixth form. So she's like, I think she was
Legal.
18 at the time.
Yeah.
But regardless,
But it's
okay,
the weird legal.
fucking weird legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The legal
In
where it's
both
like it may
literature.
be legal in law, but it's not legal in the public eye. It's not normal.
Yeah, we're not okay with this shit.
I'm guessing we're talking like at least like middle-aged.
Oh, he was 45,
Okay.
46, 48, something like that. He was not a young dude. Yeah, that was
right.
fucking weird, man. Like when you find out that these teachers, these people that you sort of, when you're a kid, you're told, "Oh, listen to your teacher." No, they're just fucking terrible people like everyone
people are
else.
still people. Yeah, you should never
Yeah.
blindly listen to anyone. I never tell my children to just blindly. I tell them be smart, think about things. Don't blindly listen to them, and they're young.
Yeah.
Well,
If you don't think something's right, get a second opinion. Always feel free to get a second opinion.
Don't
Always.
just- and it's true, like, we take the piss out of conspiracies and stuff, but it's true. Just because something's believed or it's apparently the set norm, don't just blindly believe it.
No.
But don't just
I mean, there are
blindly believe bullshit as well.
Yeah, again, this is the thing. You just got to keep in mind that some shit is just stupid. Like, so the 9/11 stuff, that stuff's got some interesting shit behind it. JFK, that's got some interesting shit behind it. This nuclear bomb, the fucking loads of the stuff we've done on this has got really interesting shit behind it.
Sometimes undeniable.
Yeah, but for other shit like this, you just got to draw a fucking line and you just got to go, no, that's fucking stupid.
I mean, let's look at it another way. Let's look at it another way. Alex Jones laughs at people that believes in flat Earth. This is the guy who always talks about interdimensional pedophiles and whatnot.
Yeah, they're vampires.
Vampires.
Soul-sucking vampires.
Was it that cortex or whatever the thing is they always take?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't remember the fucking name.
You know what I mean, though, yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
He sent himself crazy with a lot of this stuff. But even at this point right now, he laughs at Eddie Bravo when he talks about fake Earth.
Because it's so dumb. And, like, this is the thing as well. Like, It's not like these people are incapable. Eddie Bravo is not incapable as a person. Like he can run a business. He's
Okay,
interesting and funny to
He's a
listen to.
smart
All that kind of
businessman
stuff.
from what I've gathered as
Yeah.
well.
But he is not a fucking expert in science. He just isn't. And if you want your fucking information about science, go to a scientist. Simple as that.
Eddie Bravo, actually, you know what? From what we've been talking about, is a great example for this because he was talking on the Joe Rogan podcast. So I remember this. I watched it back. Like, this is one of the things that initially made me think of doing Flat Earth.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it, about how people would come up to him and he'd hear about it and he thought, no, that's ridiculous. Why would you even think that? And then people would come up to him in his jiu-jitsu or whatever it is that he teaches, and people would come up to him and say it, and he'd be like, don't ever say that shit to me again, man. And he was like, I thought this guy was smart, and I realized I could never trust him again. And I heard it from a few different people, so I thought, I'm going to look into it. And I went onto YouTube, and then Joe Rogan, and then we're like, and a few videos later, here he is.
Yeah.
And that's fucking true. That's how it goes.
It's always the way it goes. And YouTube videos especially are bad because, like, you don't have anyone to answer to it. Yeah, but it's like, if with a Joe Rogan podcast, I like to watch those, and even those you've got to have a fucking your head screwed on tight. You've got to go, that sounds like bullshit every now and then, because a lot of it is.
Yeah,
but the really interesting stuff is worth listening to. But I forgot what my point was. My point is basically you've got to be discerning about where your facts come from.
Yeah,
you've just got to be. You know,
I've just realised. I think there's one more point. Actually, I was wrong again.
Oh my god!
I think there's one more. Let's hear it.
All right, let's try it.
Arguing with a genius is hard. Arguing with an idiot is near impossible. That's very true. I have no problem with that statement at all. I'm assuming you're putting me as the idiot. That's
yeah.
Fine. If you want to see me as an idiot because you disagree with something I'm saying, or that you think that your beliefs are so settled,
it's not beliefs.
That's not why we think you're an idiot. It's not because we disagree with you. It's because the thing you're saying is idiotic.
Yeah, and it's again this conflation between belief and fact. It's like, oh, but this is my belief. Yeah, but that doesn't matter because this is science. It doesn't matter. Okay,
you can believe something until you can prove it. Doesn't mean a damn thing to us.
Yeah, and in fact, like before when you were saying, you're right. It isn't quite the same as the kettle thing, because this can be disproven. It's not the same as a religious thing where you can go, oh, well, God is there. God's, you can't quite see it. It could be there. It couldn't be. There is no fucking way this is real.
I would give it a good go to try and disprove religion anytime, but carry on.
So would I as well. Absolutely fucking ridiculous concept. But
Mary cheating on her husband was the original conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
When you take a lie too far, you get Christianity.
Yep, you do indeed. And a lot of other religions as well. And like, that's the problem. This guy, his science is a religion. And
that's it.
As soon as you've done that, you're wrong.
That's actually a really good way of putting it, actually. That is actually very true, yeah. They're looking at science as if they're looking at a religion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's my beliefs versus yours, and
and naturally assuming as well that anyone that disagrees with him because they're just assuming he's an idiot. No.
Yeah. Oh, they haven't done the research yet. Or
we're disagreeing with you because the things you're saying are stupid.
Yeah.
Not just because we disagree.
But this is the thing: is what you talk to a lot of flat earthers, and they go, "Oh, well, if you look into it, you'll see." It's like, I have looked into it, dude. I have looked into it.
What are we missing?
Yeah, like, I don't know what magical fucking tome you've read from, but from what I've seen, it's all fucking stupid.
I don't know if there's any more
indisputable. Then that's fine. You can believe me to be the idiot. I have no problem with that. If you don't argue with people and you don't have healthy debate and you don't listen to what someone else has to say, you're never going to learn anything. Then who's the idiot after that?
You. Still you.
Do you love how he says that like you said something really, really profound and then just walks off?
Yeah.
Like, mic drop.
Yeah.
Mic drop, fucking win.
No, he's not understanding the fact that he's literally insulting himself. He's saying what
Yeah.
he should be doing.
Yeah, just go do a little bit of fucking thinking, dude. Just think for a second.
Little tiny bit of critical thinking, and maybe you'll come up with a semblance of the right answer. And that right answer will be wildly different than what he's thinking right now.
Yeah, I don't know where to fuck. The thing is with this is there's so much to talk about. There's no fucking starting point and there's no end point for it. It is so fucking unbelievably stupid from start to finish. You can just keep pulling on threads all day long and get nowhere.
Yeah. In all honesty, like, for example, I imagined we did that video and that might be the start of it, but there was so much to talk about just from the stuff he was saying. And
we've got more to go
everywhere.
On. Yeah. We've got more we can do because we've only scratched the surface. That's what's so scary, is that there are way more crazy people than this dude out there.
I mean,
way more crazy.
To finish it off then, like, in regards to this then, can we think of any weirder versions that you could go with this? Is there any way that there could be some, can we really use our creative imagination to think of any way there could be any logic to this? Can we, I don't even know if we can do that.
I don't think so.
I don't think it exists. I don't
the only logical way that his entire thing works. No, even that doesn't work. I was going to say, is if there's like some kind of evil force out there that the entire government is trying to stop us to get to. Even that doesn't work, because
if there were giants that were going to kill us past there and they're protecting us, ignore the science.
Even then, that doesn't work, because what's beyond that south point? Just go back to the magnet of it all, the north, the south.
Yeah.
What's out there? Is there another extra magnetic pole that we've never heard of?
There is. We're trying, but there isn't. There isn't any.
Are we going due north? Is that where we're going?
Going what?
Are we going due north? Let's go due south, due north, and then due north, bro. We're going there.
I think we're gonna have to. I think we're just gonna have to cut it down in regards to flat Earth, because I don't think there's any further we can go for it. It's fucking stupid.
Not without talking for days.
And even then, we'll just go circling around back to the original point that it's dumb. There's no logic to it. It is, in my opinion, it is the literal stupidest conspiracy there is out there. It is worse than anything else.
Yeah, from a social standpoint, it doesn't fucking work. From a physics standpoint, it doesn't fucking work. From a geography standpoint, it doesn't fucking work. From an astronomical side state, it doesn't fucking work.
Even from a historical belief, like religion is there now so much, like the old religions, because it was so long ago. There's a historical belief behind it, so it's hard to get rid of that doctrine. Flat Earth doesn't have that. No. This was proven a long time ago that is bullshit.
Yeah,
just started up again for no reason.
Yeah, and we've got oodles of proof. There are tests you can do in your own goddamn house that will prove this shit.
Yeah, you can look. You can use your eyes and see. Okay.
But again, we have the issue of the guy sees the proof and he just goes, "Oh well, that was inconclusive." No, dude. No.
Yeah. As soon as there's something that goes against it, they're just like, "Oh no, that was inconclusive." It's like, it wasn't. You're just assuming it is and choosing not to look. That's what it is.
And again, like the final point I can make on this is, again, science is your fucking friend. If you can find an experiment that can be proven and repeated, that's probably the fucking thing. That's probably the truth.
Yeah, like what we were going to say about a theory. Like, people hear theory and they think that means just an idea. No, a theory, that's an hypothesis. A theory is an idea that's there and hasn't been proven wrong. It's been it's had time and time. People are pounding it to try and prove it wrong, and then
But
it's
it's
just not.
It's true.
You've got-
And
eventually it becomes a census. What's the
yeah, it becomes the consensus. But basically,
Consensus,
what
yeah.
you've got a hypothesis, which is basically a baby version of a theory, and
Yeah,
then
just an
once it's
idea.
been once it's been proven true, that's your theory. Okay, so the theory of evolution, that is a theory. The reason why it's called a theory in science as well is because we don't know if we're going to find any more information out yet. So the theory is not complete.
Yeah, it's theoretical in the sense that
Yeah.
we're not small-minded enough to say we're 100% definitely right.
Exactly.
We're not saying
Exactly
that. But
Yeah.
right
But
now,
we're basically there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the
But they're
theory
always
of
open to be
gravity.
proven wrong.
Yeah, the theory of gravity. The theory of gravity is fucking proven. We know how it works. It even works in black holes, and we've figured out vaguely how it works in quantum realms. It's fucking there.
You went
I
further.
just-
I understand gravity to the point of the bowling ball going around the thing. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why it's not
Yeah.
a force, isn't it? It's like essentially an illusion. It's not actually a true force
Well,
or something.
It is a force. The thing is, it's different to all the other forces in the universe because technically it's the most important because everything in the universe is held together by gravity and is being
Yeah.
pulled together by gravity.
But it's like a circumstantial
is-
force. It's created by what's there. Is that what it is, or
Yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
it's created by mass specifically.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about gravity as well is it's significantly weaker than any other force.
yeah.
Almost. So like magnets can beat the gravity of an entire planet.
Yeah.
Tiny little magnet, you can pick something up and you're fighting the gravity of the
That was-
entire Earth with it.
That was one of my earliest memories that kind of blew my mind when I comprehended that. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is stronger than the Earth. This tiny little thing is stronger than the
Yeah.
Earth. It's
Yeah.
weird to really wrap your head around, but it's
Yeah,
kind yeah.
And so like that's the thing, like they don't even account for how gravity works. Like gravity requires a set central point for things to be sucked towards. You can't have that in a flat. Never mind. Okay,
Well,
we're just gonna keep going forever.
You're thinking of a geometrical system. You got a geometrical or whatever they said, symmetrical. I don't know, whatever big word he used. I probably didn't understand to describe it.
Yeah.
Let's move on now. A few
Let's
quick
move
little
on.
bits to get at
Yeah.
then before we finish up. For anyone still watching at this point and dealing with all that, I'm sorry for the stupidness, but it had to get out. And when I say the
There's
stupidness, I mean the
so
stupidness of
much.
what they think.
Yeah.
Because it
Don't
needs to
get
be
me wrong,
pointed
we're
out.
pretty fucking stupid, but at the same
Oh, yeah.
time, Jesus Christ.
We're stupid, but we're willing to learn. That's the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I am always happy to admit that I don't know most things. But
Hell
one
yeah.
thing I do know is that this Wednesday, Nathan, coming up live
Hell.
at 7 p.m. My little
Oh, hell yeah.
on Joke Pick Connecting Comedy on KD Comedy Inc. and on my profile, but I don't really make a point of that because it's easier to do the other ones.
Yeah.
Will be this with our very own Nathan Parish. Will be popping up a KD's Comedian Quiz Off live number 26. We are getting there. Number 26. Nathan will be joined. Oh God, the thing
It's
is
the same look.
I love that. I always look for that now. That's your what the fuck is going on here? Look.
Yeah, yeah. That is literally when I can't deal with the shit. And he was like, "What,
Yeah.
the fuck, dude?"
It will be yourself, the wonderful Callum Ellis, Jarvis Jones, Mr. Sam
Hell
Serrano,
yeah.
and Chris Terry.
Nice.
I think, to be fair, I was originally planning to bring this out afterwards, but I think, considering how we've like put the time codes in and that, I've made a note of like when we started the stories, and other than
Should
the
be
little
pretty smooth.
bleeps that we need to put in, then
Yeah,
I
definitely need to
I'll
put
do
those
that, don't
bleeps
worry.
in. Yeah.
I marked down
My
one you did,
apologies, people. It's my fault for watching too many old
Actually-
films.
Remind me to ask you about something after, actually, about that. Actually,
Okay.
I'm at the end anyway, so this will be the part that I will actually watch, so it doesn't matter, actually.
Yeah.
Have a think and let me know if you want me to keep that whole discussion we had about that in, or just cut that all completely and I can just hide that. Do you know what I
I'm
mean? Just hide
comfortable.
the little sensors.
Nah, I put the sensors in. I'm comfortable with the conversation. I am more than comfortable in my own mental state and my own.
Well, I agree, and I will back it
position.
completely.
I don't think words should be taken off the table necessarily.
I
I
don't.
mean, there's, you know, people can argue. It can keep this bit in here as well if you want. Like,
Okay, cool,
people can argue with the use of any kinds of words. I draw the line at the N word. I draw the line at the F word. I don't tend to use those.
Okay.
Because
When people say the F word, I
Yeah.
still think fuck. So, but yeah. I get what
yeah,
you're saying.
that's the weird thing, isn't it? Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's not, that's fine now.
That's fine now. Fuck.
Yeah, well, it's almost swapped over.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one I don't
That's
use that one. I
they're
don't use the
different.
N word because
They're
those are
different 'cause they're-
very yeah.
What were
You
you going to say
can't
then?
call you can't call someone
They're
one
very
of those
directed.
that they're not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
they're very
it's
directed
aimed at a
terms.
black person
Yeah.
or it's aimed at a gay person.
Exactly.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest here.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's
whilst
you can't really say that without having a derogatory thought in your head. You can't do it.
yeah, exactly.
And people forget
Whilst
about
I've
the context
called
when you're
people-
saying something.
Yeah, whilst I've called people the R word all the time for like ridiculous things. You know, they'll tell a stupid joke. I'm like, oh man, you're whatever. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I call people dumb, and I get like such an angry reaction sometimes.
yeah,
It's just people put too much power in words. And I
They
can
do.
see the same thing going with, that's why I put it up earlier. I can see the same thing going with words like stupid and dumb, just
Mhm.
because they're insultive. And it's like, well,
oh, there are people out there who say you're not allowed to use stupid or dumb anymore because they are what was it? Cognitively.
yeah, because you're saying
something- it's-
someone, you're
it's
insulting
basically
someone's
saying-
cognitive
yeah.
abilities.
Yeah, and because
Yes,
of that,
yes,
you
I
can't
am.
do that because you're making them feel bad. Well, if they're fucking stupid, they
Yeah,
should be.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole difference between someone being stupid. Okay, yeah, see, this is how I normally say it as well. But this is the thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you forget to particularly say it in that exact way, because
Yeah.
usually when I say someone's stupid, or it's normally what they're saying is stupid, or the
Yeah.
point they're making is stupid.
Yeah.
But it's like you'll just assume that I'm calling you stupid in general. Same thing.
No.
With that, like, you know, if you say that, people assume you're naturally saying they're a retard. When no, that's
Yeah.
not what you're saying.
No,
You're just
not at all.
using that word to describe that.
Because it aptly
scenario.
describes that situation and that scenario. Yeah.
It's just another
What
word
you
for
have
dumb, like
just
you were
done
saying.
is retarded.
Yeah. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying
And again,
anything against
again, I
cognitive-
hate to do the thing, but like that's a scientific term. That is a scientific
that's
term.
another thing I
To
was gonna say.
retard your speed means to slow down.
Yeah.
It has got nothing to do with mental cognitive capability. It is just a term to say this person is not as far along as this person. Now, I can see why that itself could be potentially damaging. And again, it's like considering someone as not as far along or not as worthy as someone who isn't. Again, I would never, ever, 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 ever
Yeah.
fucking use that term to refer to someone who was learning
It's the
disabled or
context.
anything like that.
It's
Exactly.
the context.
I would
Exactly. Once
only
again,
ever
yeah.
use that word to call my friend a dumb fuck.
Use the exact context, sorry, that I would use it in as well
Yeah.
with my friends.
Exactly.
In all honesty, I don't use that word that much anymore, just because I think
No, neither do I. I try not to. yeah.
not because no, not even that. Not that I try not to. It's just I don't know. I think I've just started using words like dumb and stupid without meaning to. But I
Yeah.
don't like the concept of having to edit yourself and think about what
No,
you're
neither
saying,
do I.
because
No.
especially as a comedian, you should know. They're just words. They're not
Yeah.
anything. That's not a meaning unless you're saying it in a particular way. It's about how you say it, what situation, who you're aiming it to, why you're saying it to them, and
Yep.
what the feeling is behind that. That's not what any of like the stuff we say. That's never what we do.
No, we've never. I don't think we've ever given anyone the impression that we're here to be nasty to people.
I don't think anyone does either. I think it's just you feel nowadays that you have to explain that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you know, you've got to go in there being defensive, which is fine, but
Yeah.
it'd be better
Yeah.
if we could all just talk the way we wanted to fucking talk. To be honest.
It'd be better if people were able to actually think about stuff a bit more critically rather than just jump into assumptions. That's if people were just willing to think about things smartly, just give it a bit of critical thinking, really think about the situation. Don't just assume, don't just believe shit. Obviously, this is just the cancel culture in a wider spectrum now. Like, just why?
The cancel culture thing is, it's getting old. I'll put it that way. It's getting fucking old at this point. The amount of people that are getting picked up on it now is fucking stupid, and for some things that just aren't that fucking serious at all.
And a lot of the time, pure barefaced lies. Sometimes it's been pure barefaced lies, and then they prove that they're lies, but they're already destroyed in public eye.
Yeah, and the Gina Carano one was the one most recently that sort of raised an eyebrow.
Oh, that's the Mandalorian woman.
Yeah,
Mandalorian man.
Again, as I say, she's not perfect. She's definitely said a lot of stupid shit on her Twitter and stuff like that, but nothing more stupid than I would have written, probably from the opposite end of the political spectrum, but from what I would have written when I was 16. And again, it's a bad take.
I can't remember. I think I keep hearing different ideas of what she actually said. But the one that got finally the big issue was that she used a stupid image to explain her point.
Yeah. The one that got her finally banned was basically trying to compare being a conservative Trump fan anti-masker to being a Jew in the Holocaust, and how the neighbors were the ones who attacked them, not the Nazi soldiers themselves. And yeah,
I understood part of that, but I kind of, when I heard that, I assumed she was saying people in general were being created in the same way like Hitler, did the same stuff to German people by making them hate each other, and that eventually led to the situation where they were able to start World War II and follow Hitler and that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that she was making out that the Trump supporters were the super innocent party, and that is that kind of what you're saying.
That's basically what she was trying to say, and that's again, is it particularly smart? Is it particularly amazing? No. Yeah, it's a bad fucking take. It is a very bad fucking take. She shouldn't fucking say that shit. But at the same time,
I've heard worse.
Does it actually? Yeah, exactly. It's not like she, went out and started screaming the N-word.
Yeah, you should never be fired for anything. I mean, in America, there's supposed to be freedom of speech, but apparently that doesn't exist anymore. Like, that's some huge thing they talk about, all their freedoms and that, but that doesn't exist anymore, apparently.
Yeah. There's loads of people who've been cancelled throughout the years for just being, on the wrong side of the political spectrum. I mean, it sort of happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger after he became a governor. No one would really hire Arnold Schwarzenegger for any amazingly big films after that. I mean, he's had a couple of Terminators. Yeah, but that's about it.
That's about it, though. Ain't it? Like, he can just spur on that franchise. But what do you mean in regards to why he couldn't get them, though?
Oh, it's just because he's a Republican, and that is, I guarantee you, in a lot of ways, it's as simple as that. And it's the same as
which one's the Republicans?
Donald Trump's party. Yeah.
Okay. I get confused.
Well,
because he used to be
planning on his own one.
Oh, he used
to say he was a Democrat. Yeah, he said he was a Democrat for ages, and then as soon as he got the opportunity to run, he went to Republican.
It's almost like those parties don't really mean anything, and it's almost as if the people in power don't really care that much. It's just a load of bullshit.
It is almost like
it's just a load of bullshit.
Yeah,
I discovered
and on that.
I discovered that Trump. Did you know his name? His Secret Service name was Mogul. His secret name.
Mogul, like movie mogul,
like a movie mogul. Yeah. But what makes it even cooler? Do you want to know what Barack Obama's was? Renegade. That's cool.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, right, I respect that.
Before we finish off, I should mention this here actually then, because I'm going to bring this out a bit earlier. So, on about, I don't know. Actually, quick bit of context first. Tonight, as we're recording this on a Sunday. This will probably come out on like the Tuesday or something. But tonight is AEW Revolution. AEW is the new wrestling company, if you don't know.
Yeah, I know this.
But for some reason, you might have saw it on the post actually later, earlier. They've got an exploding barbed wire death match for the title at the end of the show. There's also the Essential Business WWE plodding along for fucking for WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
The road to WrestleMania is
So
coming
essential.
along. So essential. So I thought, with all the ridiculousness going on in wrestling, it is a perfect time to start a new podcast with Mr. Callum Ellis Jarvis Jones that will be going on every couple of weeks, called Wrestling with Comedy. We will be chatting about what's been going on over the past 2 weeks or so. Each episode we do. The first one that will be coming out this week, we'll be chatting about the ridiculousness, what must be the epitome of making a promise about a match that can only be a letdown. They've made out that there's landmines. They use the word landmines around the ring.
Okay.
Apparently, yeah. The landmines. I mean, we'll ignore the fact that the landmines around the ring are going to be just as near to the wrestlers as they are to the audience, because they'll have an audience there too. We'll ignore that. So, because that's how explosions work.
Why the fuck do you need landmines in a wrestling match? Like,
I've never, ever seen an exploding barbed wire death match. They exist. It is a Japanese thing from more so back in the day. They were a bit more realistic. This ain't going to be that. This is not going to be that. This is going to be gimmick to hell. This is going to be the epitome of promising too much, putting a hat on a hat on a hat with another hat on top with some visors on top of that. For
it's not going to be the new cage match, is it? It's not going to be a winner for anyone.
With a guy in it as well, who apparently is the best wrestler of all time. I've been waiting for years to see why he was the best wrestler of all time. I've been watching him AEW for about 2 years now, year and a half. Still don't understand why he's apparently the best wrestler of all time. But every single weird ass wrestling fan nowadays, for some reason, thinks he is the most amazing. I love wrestling. But
it doesn't sound
it pisses me off. I've watched it all my life. I will always watch it, but most of the time I hate watch it now.
That's fair.
Hence why it is the perfect time to start. Once again, I'll put it back up. The Wrestling with Comedy podcast with me and Callum Ellis Jarvis Jones. I don't think Callum realizes the fucking hurricane of anger that is going to be coming at him every single episode we do, because I am just getting endlessly annoyed with wrestling lately. But for the best possible reasons, I enjoy it. Like I enjoy, I don't know, what's something terrible that you watch anyway, but you love it at the same time. You just can't help but watch it. Porn.
Yeah.
I don't love it like porn, but you know, I don't just watch the first 10 minutes, so I don't love it like porn, but
yeah. First 10 minutes is an impressive run.
Well, you know, the first part is, you know, watching the acting at the beginning, getting yourself ready, you know.
Nah, I'm all about that gonzo shit. I just want to see straight up penetration.
In and out.
Yeah.
You're a compilation man. I'm
all about that POV as well. I hate non-POV. I don't want to see a dude banging someone else in front of me. That ain't my fantasy.
Oh, I see. I got. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So in that case, then I was having a discussion the other day, because before we finish, we'll finish on this. Then,
yeah.
Okay. I for the first time the other day got to experience proper virtual reality gaming. I've been waiting for ages. I didn't want to do it because I knew it'd be kind of crappy at first. So I've been waiting, and then he got my good mate got the new Doom VR. Went down, did it all in the garden because he's got a big ass garden. Did it all safely, etc. Blah for the video. But we did, to be fair though, because he's just as anal as I am with that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, we did that. And I got to play Doom VR, and I was rushing around. It was fucking great. I loved it. He had the gun and everything. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think I've played that one, and it's probably better on a sort of free floating Oculus as opposed to the one which I had, which was the HTC Vive, where you got the wire behind you because you kept on going, I can't turn, just shoot the
No, this had like because you had the gun, you had like the controls were on there, but you could look and teleport. It's still it's still obvious you're in virtual, but the thing I was thinking at the time was every time there was a cutscene going on, I was just looking around, and then I was thinking, it would be amazing having VR porn. It would be amazing because it exists. I know it exists.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
but
great.
I was thinking to myself then, this is what made me think of it then. I was thinking to myself then, I know exactly what would happen. I'd buy like, I don't know, like you'd probably have to get like an hour and something VR porn video or something. I'd start watching it, get 10 minutes in, all done and dusted. And then I'd be like, wow, I've rented this for however many days. I don't want to stop. Someone's going to start checking out their house. That's what I would be doing. I know. I'll be finished and then I'll just start checking out their house. I'll look at what's, you missed, I made a mess and, get out of the way.
Let's have a look at the DVDs they've got. Oh my god. Who the hell wants to own a copy of Dude, Where's My Car with
Don't insult
added DJ? Dude, come on. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great film to laugh at, but at the same time, it's terrible.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What does mine say? Dude. What does mine say?
Yeah. That was one of the ones I rewatched recently. Try rewatching it again. Tell me that it's genius.
It's not genius, but it's any film with endlessly quotable quotes. That was weird. Yeah. Any film with endlessly quotable bits in it are amazing. Like there's
I think that's probably part of the problem is that I've watched it too many times. I do like the and then part. I do like the
and then.
Yeah, I do like the reveal at the end that like the sexy women are aliens and they've been hunting them down and shit like that. It's like there's a lot of fun stuff happening in that film.
Oh, and then they turn into the giant woman and they walk over and you get the underskirt shot for reasons, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I don't understand why them all coming together in the leather suits created this. Was it Carmen Electra? Or am I just remembering wrong?
I think it was Carmen Electra. Yeah.
That would probably make a lot of sense for the film as well.
Yeah, it looked like it anyway.
I swear to God, they did a remake of Dude, Where's My Car or a series. I swear that's real.
Oh shit! No, hopefully not.
I swear that is. Let me just check this. Let me just quickly check this. Dude, Where's My? Where's me car? No, where's my car?
Where's my car?
Where's my car, dude? Oh. I might have been wrong. Okay. Thank God I was wrong.
Thank
God
fuck
knows.
for that, yeah.
I did see I did see that there was what I might be thinking of. Nativity 3 was called Dude, Where's My Donkey?
Oh, I remember.
I think actually you might have confused that, you know.
Yeah. You see, the problem with Dude, Where's My Car is that whenever I'm watching it, I'm always just thinking to myself, but I could be watching Harold and Kumar.
I was never a big fan of them, you know.
Really? I think that's probably what it is then. People are either really like big fans. I don't think it's big fans of one of it, but like one or the other is going to be your preference, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, in all fairness, anything like the humour of Dude, Where's My Car, if I watched it now and it wasn't an old classic to me, I'd hate it. I don't like that kind of humour now, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
It was really funny when I was a kid, but now I'm an adult. It's like, okay. Okay.
One final question for you. Favorite stoner film? We'll do yours, we'll do mine, and then we'll finally stop.
Okay.
Because we're doing it again. We're chatting way too much.
Perfect stoner film.
Well, favorite?
Well, you know what I mean.
I can think of mine straight away if you prefer me to go first.
Yeah, you go first, because I've got a few and I'm not sure which one to go with.
Without a doubt for me, without a doubt, and it has to be specifically the director's cut, Pineapple Express.
Oh, that's a fucking great choice.
Pineapple Express.
That's a really good one.
Did you ever have the version where randomly in the middle of it, at certain times, it would just go black and white for a little bit? That's the director's cut. That's the director's cut, because every time it goes black and white, you're supposed to spark up a spliff.
Oh, that's fucking genius. I love that idea.
Once we realised this, we pre-rolled them all, because there's not enough time to roll them each time. There's not enough time. You have to pre-roll.
Good. Yeah, very good.
That film is amazing. I learned how to make the cross joint perfectly from that film.
Yeah, that was a fucking challenge doing that for the first time.
You done that as well?
Oh yeah.
Did you? What was your way of doing this?
Well, what I did with mine was I built the 2 small joints off the side.
Yeah.
To begin with, so you start there, and then we built the big one down the center, and we tried to sort of like
Oh.
chop little holes into it, and then sort of put those ones in, and then
Right.
reseal it around the edge with extra like grizzly.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
with
like
the gummy.
tear the strip off,
Yeah, with the
and just
gummy.
get the gum round. Yeah.
When you have to do medical services on your split.
Yeah,
For whatever reason.
yeah. It wasn't the greatest roll in the world, if I'm honest. I was kind of hoping it would work out better than it did.
You've missed some tricks there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I found the best way of doing it. First of all, I found that if you use a Satanist cross, it works better. So you want the little bits at the bottom. And what I did, made big fat bits, and then made one longer bit, as you imagine, would poke through the other one.
Yeah.
And then left a little bit of backy in the middle, so you're not wasting stuff. And then make a little hole, like with a needle or something.
Yeah.
To do this, you're going to need a parent or something that knits, because you're going to need to get a tiny knitting needle, make the hole bigger in the big spliff. Then get another knitting needle, make that bigger. Keep doing it until you've got a big enough space that you can push that little one through.
Right.
And, wait, how is it now? Because I just realised I did make one at the other end that had cigarette tobacco in it to make it burn down faster, but I still found it was better when you did the Satanist one at the bottom, because then it burned down with plenty of time and it just worked a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
That was my
I don't know if I've got the
doing it.
I don't know if I've got the capability. That
was it as well. When you put it, before you put it through the little one, get the needle and poke loads of holes in it so it can, it all flows through with the air, and then, like you said with the gummy, wrap it around, seal it.
Yeah, so you basically
then
like
it's one
making
flow.
it perforated, and then it can just flow the smoke through. That makes sense.
As I'm talking about it, I can't remember. I swear that I did it that way, and then I can't remember whether I did the Satanist cross in the end or the other one, because I feel like the other one's burnt down quicker. I'm gonna have to do it again to see exactly why. I can't remember which way worked better, but that was how I did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most impressive thing I ever managed was a 9-skin one, where you sort of got like 3 like that, and then like connect to the 3, and then put them under that line, and then put them onto that line, so you end up with a sheet about that big.
Oh, okay, the one where you
And
need
then
like a few people to roll.
Yeah, and then I could roll them by myself, mate. I'm a pro. And then you just sort of put it all in, and then the thing about one of those is you got to make the fucking roach in a very specific way, and everyone fucks it up.
Double barrel.
Because everyone just does the single roll round. You never do the single roll round. You turn it once the wrong way and then roll around that, so you got that little schwa.
You're on about the S. The DS
yeah,
roll.
bro.
Yeah,
yeah. You gotta have the S roll.
And when you get the raw natural Rizzlers that the Rizzlers that they brought out, that are essentially the rip off of Raws now, the actual Rizzler brand, when they have the little. When they have the ones with the little booklets in as well, and if you get those booklets rather than the raw ones, they're pre-perforated to make the S.
I like that. That's fucking smart. Yeah, I like that.
That's how I originally learned how to make the S, because I'd always seen the S and other people doing it. I'd never understood it, and I've worked it out from that.
Yeah, it's a good little tactic once you can get it down. The problem is that I found myself doing it so much that I'd make joints that were basically like cigarettes. So it was one fat fucking filter at one end, and it's just like all of that. And you go, well, it's just the same size as another one. Yeah, but it's got like 3 times the amount of shit in it because it's a straight fucking flat line. Yeah.
That's the thing people don't realize when it comes to rolling. It is the roach is like the most important part. The roach and building it.
Yeah.
The actual rolling itself is simple. So when we used to chill, like back in the day, like, and we'd chill in the forest, we'd always bitch about who had to roll because it was cold back then. We was in a forest, fucking rolling and that. And one person would always be like, "Oh, I'll set it up for you," and that's like, "I'll roll, but you set it up for me."
It's like, well, then that's all of the work done.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You did a
I'll do all that fiddly shit. I'll roll it all in there, and then you can just go. Done. Yeah. Take the fucking rollers rights with it. Yeah, fuck you.
Rollers rights, exactly.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I swear, I've said this before. All stoner groups just kind of have the same stuff, and they just all sometimes different names, but sometimes the same fucking names only.
Yeah. Rollers rights is a sacred term.
Yeah. And the roller should know as well, because a lot of the time you don't put much bud in the beginning, so you need to be able to smoke it a bit more. Should never lose that. We went through a period where we would smoke, and as soon as the spliff was finished, it would be down to everyone around to shout different things for whether you're second or third. I'm trying to remember it now what they were. Mr. Motherfucker was first. I remember that. That was a new rule that we put in, so that after a bit you could claim it. If they rolled it and before they put it in their mouth, if you said Mr. Motherfucker, you get to claim their rollers' rights. Fucking annoying. Yeah.
No, I'm not sure I'm okay with that. Yeah, the whole point of rollers' rights is that it is a right. It is not a thing that is to be taken lightly.
The only reason that rule came into play was because the one guy who was terrible at rolling anyway, once our favourite grinder fell into some like what we were basically assuming was like a little mini canal river thing with some shit pipe flowing in. But we really wanted the grinder. We knew we could clean it up and stuff, and no one wanted to get it. And the one guy was like, I will reach in, I will get it, I will clean it off, bring it back clean. If there's a new rule in place that I never have to roll again. And we did it. We did it. He had that, but then he eventually complained about never being able to go first, and it was like, because you never roll.
Yeah,
and that's where Mr. Motherfucker came from.
Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, that guy just sounds like he's Treacle Tea.
Treacle Tea was second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, just
we never had that. I think it was just basically rollers' rights, and someone else would shout shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it? I remember number 5 was Cuntos, because if there was ever a fifth person in the circle, it was too many, so they were a cunt.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other ones were. It'll bother me. I'll ask him later. I don't know. We was too high at the time, so I probably don't remember anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
There was a whole fucking. We need to do an episode sometime just talking about random fucking bud stories and that. Because I guarantee you've got quite a few too.
Quite a lot, yeah. Almost a never-ending supply at this stage. Yeah.
Did you have like random chills you'd go to as well? Like, because we was in the forest, we knew this forest so well. We'd be like, everyone go to Triple S2. We'd know where that meant.
We had a whole set of rules, mate. The rules were important. Number one, never ignore the prang. Okay, never ignore the prang, my friend.
Yeah, when you're pranging out, paranoid.
Yeah, bro. Whenever it was, and we had this second rule with that, which is like, if one person's pranging and the other person's like, mate, it's fine, we're okay, you're fine. The minute the next person goes, no, you're right, yeah, there's something off here, get the fuck out of there.
That's really good as well, because that's like
the amount of times that worked. Cool. Yeah. We
that's supporting each other too, that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, if someone else is like, no, dude, chill, we're cool. It's like, okay, so it is just me. That's fine. But again, it's that shared thing. If you're both getting that vibe, it's not worth being around.
Sometimes, yeah. No, I totally agree. Sometimes it pays. I've always said that it pays to be paranoid, and sometimes you shouldn't ignore that instinct. Because sometimes it's true. And I can think of times that I'm not going to talk about where I've ignored that instinct. I've regretted it.
Yeah, never regret that shit. Or never ignore that shit. Yeah,
never ignore it.
I always found the other thing with lighters as well. It sounds ridiculous, but every time I've been trying to light my smoke and it's failed, even though I know I've got a good lighter, I've just used it. I'm like, fuck, why isn't it fucking working? I always end up going, okay, take it out, put it in my pocket, put the lighter back away, walk on for about 5 minutes, and you'll come across someone else on the path going, hello. It's like, okay, hello, yeah, sweet. Walk past them, put it in. Okay, sweet.
You know what? Honest to God, I literally had that a few days ago where I wasn't going to light it, but I decided, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to light it. And as soon as I lit it and looked to the left, there was just a police car coming towards me.
Oh,
it was fun. I've noticed police are pretty chill about it now, in all honesty.
Yeah,
and as long as you don't act weirdly, it could just be a roll up anyway. So I think that's
provided you're not being provided you're not being a dick. Yeah, they're usually okay with it. Yeah,
as long as you're not pushing it in their face as well. And they were in the car. There's no reason they would have known, but it was still that moment of, I shouldn't. I'm going to anyway. No, I shouldn't have. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
see
it's
that?
the universe, man. It's the universe trying to tell you something. Always listen to the universe. Like, it sounds fucking stupid, and it sounds like one of those things you hear in the fucking How I Met Your Mother episodes or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
true, man.
No, I
Like,
kind of believe that too. I believe there's power in
yeah,
thought anyway.
yeah, I believe so as well. I think if you can, you can manifest stuff, even
Of
if that's
course.
just because you're thinking about it makes you more motivated to make it happen.
Yeah.
Even if that's just the way it was. But I do think there's an extra element to it. I think if you push that shit out there into the universe and you keep pushing it and you keep focused on something, you're sort of willing it into being in a weird
Yeah.
way, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes perfect. It's like an idea, like, you know, you get an idea and you will it into being.
Yeah. It's the same with anything, you know.
Yeah.
Especially with us as comedians, we've willed shit into being. We've both got podcasts that are highly successful.
Of course.
Yeah.
One of ours is award winning.
Yes.
There was something else I was going to say then at the end with the bud stuff, and what the fuck was I going to? Oh yeah. You saw that thing up on Facebook, didn't you, about the guy asking me the other day? I was walking down with a slip.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Ignoring the global
weird.
pandemic, just a guy walking up to you and just saying, "Can I have a few?" He was so happy when he said it, a smile on his face as well. Like there was no chance I was going to say no.
Yeah.
Are you smoking bud? Can I have like 2 free drags on that? No.
No.
Because of COVID?
Yeah.
No. Because it's just
No.
weird.
Yeah. I don't
No.
share
No.
that stuff with people I don't know because
I wouldn't even share a
No.
cigarette with someone I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I might give them one, but I'm not just
Yeah.
going to stand there and share it. It's just weird.
no, twos on a cigarette is always fucking. I've never liked that shit. It's like, oh, do you want to go twos on it? No, I'd rather just not have a cigarette. Cheers, though. Thanks.
Yeah, unless I can have first twos.
Yeah, I'll take the first twos.
I'll
and
take
you
the
can have the
first
other
twos.
half.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not having that second. I'm not a scumbag.
Did you see the ending to that story the next day?
Yeah, seeing the guy again is like,
I
don't
saw the
worry,
guy
lad, I
again.
got you.
He didn't ask, and he was so happy when I gave it to him. But I'm very worried now that I'm gonna keep seeing him, and he's gonna keep expecting it, or I'll just shoot it down next time. But
yeah, I had a story like that.
He was a happy
Yeah.
chap.
Yeah, but we'll get to that story later. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. So
Yes.
I think
that's
that's
fine.
the end now.
Yeah, we'll call it there.
Fucking hell, man. We chat
That's
on
a
too much.
concise 3 out of 308.
Anyway, then,
There's a
man.
limit. Yeah.
Anything you want to point out or fill us in about what's coming up soon or anything at all?
Yeah, okay. So, same as usual, Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse is out and about. You're going to be getting an episode 5 fairly soon. On the last one, we left it on a cliffhanger where King Leopold Bucket IV, the bucket-wearing king with the bucket-shaped bling, was trapped in a room with his friend, who's a priest called Barry, whilst a shape-changing evil creature called Ridley Crunch is scraping at the doors. So
amazing.
that basically tells you everything you need to know about the tone of the series.
Oh, I can't fucking wait for it. But
it's going to be so good.
Other than that, the only other thing we can say is from
Oh,
both of
before I
us.
forget, on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to check out anything from me and Nathan again coming up soon, then there is, of course, probably tomorrow from when you're watching this. Either way, Wednesday, the 10th of March, I believe it is. It will be the Katie's Comedian Quiz Off with the lovely Mr. Nathan Parish from Kildom Comedy and Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse, Callum Ellis, Jarvis Jones from the Meanderful podcast and soon to be the Wrestling with Comedy podcast. I don't mean this in a mean way. I'm not too sure what things Chris Terry and Sam Sawano do, but I know they're fucking hilarious. And I've been enjoying some of the stuff I've seen them putting out. I've seen Sam on a lot of shows lately.
Yeah. I've seen Sam do what is it? Do the toxic femininity thing, I think it is as well. That he does as a thing. So we'll see how it goes. It should be quite an interesting little group.
I think it'll be a really fun night. I'll find out exactly
Yeah.
what. Yeah. It'll be a good time then. But other than that, then it is goodbye from moi and goodbye from the lovely lion-maned headed man over there. Peace out, people. Take
Cheers
care.
again.